We got Teddy Covers calling us at 12:35, hopefully for some winners, because I have to pay American Express. So much and more on a Saturday in the locker room on Real Radio 921. Jimmy, good morning.
Hello and good morning, Greek Joe. Pleasure to be here with you guys.
And good morning to Joe, a.k.a. Joseph. What is up?
What's up, boys? Good morning, good morning. Good to see you. Good to be here.
Mm-hmm. You don't sound like you got any juice in you today, you all right?
I'm a little tired. I'll be honest. I'm tired.
I can tell.
I'm a tired fella.
Go pick it up, bitch.
I'll do my best.
I don't want to hear it.
I will
We
do
gotta
my
carry
best. You know how
again.
I respond to cursing, though.
God,
It
my shoulders
inspires me.
I carry this company. My God, I got to carry you.
I told you a long time ago. I
Yeah.
hope you got a backpack, because I'm jumping in that bad boy.
Nice.
Last girl said that to me. It cost me $2,700.
That's pretty cheap.
Yeah, I'm cheaper than that.
27.
Don't you worry
Not
about
bad.
me.
See what rent's going up to? That ain't bad.
Rent is a lot. Everything's a lot. Gas, my God. My secret's out for the place to get gas that's very inexpensive. I went today. It was 13 cars. I couldn't get gas.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, oh, my God.
Stop talking about it, G.
I know,
You
man.
did it to yourself.
I did it. Like everything else. All my mistakes I make myself. I'll be the first to say it. So if I eliminate myself, I'm in good shape.
I don't like that plan. I'll be
I'm
honest.
just saying.
I feel like it's going to backfire.
I would make it a big payday.
Well,
I'd make it a big payday for somebody.
you
You know,
never
we got to
know.
do stuff like that. Yeah, I pulled into there's like 11 cars. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
He's very inexpensive. He's $3.07 a gallon. And I don't even know if it is gas. And
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't
Does
care.
the car work?
Yeah, I don't
Stop
care.
asking questions.
I don't get it because it's the only place that consistently. I mean, you guys talk about it. I mean, I'm not doubting it. Franny's mentioned it. I mean, it's not the first. You're not the only person that's mentioned it, and it's amazing. I got to find out where it is and go there.
Yeah, I
It's on
doubt
North
it.
Lake.
I need tangible evidence. I doubt everything.
I'll take a picture next time.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah, it's on North Lake, all the way down. On the left side. It's a Shell station. Now, I don't know. And I never put high test in my car. I never put high test in one car in my life.
No,
Yeah.
that is a fallacy.
Yes.
Somebody got my brother convinced on it too, because he just bought a fairly used car, but somebody got it in his mind that he had to put premium in it.
Yeah.
And he's been doing it. I don't know why. I mean, we're talking about a friggin' Toyota or something here. It's not, not like a high end,
Yeah.
You get a Lamborghini or something, all right, that's a little different maybe, but even still.
No, I mean, so many people do it with a lot of cars.
Yeah.
I never did it. No, I seized one engine, but that wasn't because of the gas, because I didn't change the oil for you.
Yeah.
But there's things
I
going
think,
on.
well,
I was busy.
nobody told him. I mean, that was really the thing.
My car didn't say one thing about being overworked or whatever. I
Yeah.
get it. I'm right there
A
with
little
you.
light or something should have come on.
And there is a big difference between premium and regular.
Oh, yeah, man.
Oh, price-wise?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
Sure.
It's
That
like
adds up.
45 cents, 50 cents.
Yeah.
Things are, we got problems.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yeah, I know.
Things are tough.
When you're looking for, digging through the change pocket in order to fill up the gas.
307,
I mean,
baby.
how?
Give me
Struggle's
3 real. The struggle's real.
It is real.
I hear that by somebody. I love that line. The struggle is real. Yeah, big basketball games today. This is the end of the regular season college hoop. I talked about it. Memphis is playing RFAU at 12 o'clock. It's going to be a good game. Know a bunch of people going down there. Then, obviously, we got North Carolina Duke today. We got Kansas.
Always good.
Always great. Kansas Houston. I mean, another
Kansas
big-
Houston's big time.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big game.
It is. It's going to be a great game there.
Yeah.
You got UConn playing tonight against Providence. They should beat them. Arizona's playing USC. They should beat them. Arizona's crushing everybody. A lot of big games today. So I'm excited about the early. Alabama's playing early. They should blow out. But, yeah, a lot of big games in college hoops. We're going to get into those, talk about college hoops, what's going on, because they now control the sports world.
Yep.
The biggest thing this week was the Mike Tyson fight, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know if you want to call it a fight or whatever.
It's a fight.
You think it's going to be real?
I can't wait for this.
Wow,
Let me tell you
there you
something.
go.
Let me tell you something. You attach Jake Paul to anything, and it's going to raise the question of the validity of the sportsmanship and the just like how legitimate all this is, right? Like he's fighting MMA guys that are retired, like all this other stuff, right?
All right, true.
And like some people question whether it's rigged, whether it's just like an exhibition that they control, and yada yada yada. Mike Tyson's Mike Tyson. I've seen this man bite somebody's ear off on live TV.
That was years ago.
I don't care.
Yeah, still years ago.
It still happened, okay? I don't trust this dude to follow any sort of orders or stay in any sort of line. He's crazy. I absolutely love Tyson at this stage. All he does is eat edibles and just, like, say crazy stuff.
Right.
And
It's like you.
But
First of all-
oh really? Oh, side of
Okay.
Joe I didn't
Yeah,
know about.
I'm sorry.
He talks about it.
He G-zig there. I thought he was going to zag. It threw me off my game. Anyway, all I'm saying is that that's a fight that I'm definitely going to be interested in.
Now,
I just don't trust Tyson.
Now, just only because of what you just said, do you think that it's the same Mike Tyson from his fighting days when he was he'd come out, he'd rip you to shreds and then go out? Because
I'll be honest with you.
I see a mellower Mike Tyson now, but I have seen the videos of him hitting the bag, and I mean, that guy has so much power in that punch
He
at
throws
the age of
cinder
57.
blocks, Jimmy.
Yeah.
He throws cinder blocks. I don't care. I don't care how old he is. I don't think Tyson ever matured past 12 anyway. So I think like where he is in life doesn't matter. This dude is like he's wired one way.
Yeah.
And as soon as he's in that ring and you hear that bell, he's going to click into I'm Mike Tyson mode. And I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah.
He's 58. He looks like he can still throw. Jake Paul's legitimate. Like I don't think he's like some, whatever. I think he's a really brilliant businessman as he's shown. He's a self-made millionaire. And I think what he's doing to boxing is more fun for him than anything because, like, he gets to be, like, a real boxer and, like, revitalize the sport because of his following. But, look, man, like, he's legit. Tyson's Tyson. I want to watch it.
Yeah,
so I do.
So do I.
Do you have Netflix?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Come on now.
All right, I'll stay friends.
Please, I'm a nerd. I'm a homebody. I got all that stuff. I got
I'll
every
stay
streaming
friends.
service, all that stuff.
I'll stay friends with you, though.
There's the
I'll
guy
take
that he's got all the money.
Yeah.
Question though, with Paul, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so Paul came out with this announcement saying that he wants a championship. Any idea what that championship is? Is it boxing? Is it MMA? What do you think, Greek? Joe?
Well, it's not MMA. He doesn't box with that at all. He never in that, and he's not in any boxing.
UFC then? I'm sorry, I should have said UFC, right?
No, he doesn't.
Because that's at all forms of fighting, right?
Yeah, he doesn't fight UFC or MMA.
Right.
He's in boxing. That's what he's talking about, and he's not sanctioned.
Yeah, I think he's probably in the process of creating his own sort of fighting something. Like he's got the money and the name to do it. And you look at, I mean, obviously it started way long ago in a different whatever, but like Dana White built the UFC and he built it into an absolute like entertainment mogul. And there were people that questioned the validity of that when it first came out.
Sure,
right?
there was a time,
like,
right?
It's like it's made leaps and bounds in terms of social acceptance and stuff like that. Jake Paul's one of the biggest names in sports/entertainment. He just is. Love him or hate him, and most people hate him, but he is. He's a brilliant businessman. If he wants a title, he's not going to get a title unless he creates that title.
Right.
And he has enough of a name and enough of a following that he could absolutely put together a little fighting circuit that he just happens to be the Jackie Moon of, the player coach that just kind of like operates the whole thing.
27 years old, a little late to do that with the boxing world?
Man, I don't know. Mike Tyson's throwing down at 58. I just say 27's not that bad.
As far as a legit, like, can he get to the point where he can be, Greek, you just mentioned it, where he's not officially a boxer. He's not licensed that way, right?
That's where he's at
But
now.
he can still do that, right?
Yeah,
That's
he
where
would
he's
have-
at now.
Yeah,
You know?
what it really is with him is he doesn't, because of the money he makes, he doesn't have to even be there. He does all these fights and he gets paid millions of dollars for pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So he's probably like that. If he wants to get into the boxing circuit, he would have to be sanctioned, get in there.
Championship, right?
Yeah.
And that's where the questions were leading from that point. Now, as far as the entertainment, he's got that covered, and he's gonna keep doing things like that. So he can make the money, right?
Yeah, I think when he first came out, nobody really even took him serious.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. So it's one of the things that's like Caitlin Clark in the college basketball. She really doesn't need to come out. She's coming out because she's dumb. She's making millions of dollars. He makes millions of dollars. I mean, he really does, the kid, whether you like him or not. He is somebody you talk about. He knows what he's doing. Putting his name out there with Tyson is another thing. July 20th, I've heard everybody say the same thing Joe did. And I have a lot of friends, acquaintances with you now. Sure. All say the same. I want to watch it. I want to watch it.
Yeah.
I don't hear anybody say, and I've heard the same thing. It's probably fake. I don't know what's going to happen, yada, yada. We'll see.
Still want to watch.
Yeah. And the most times when boxing events happen like this, people buy them, and then after the fact, they bitch, and they say, it's the same thing with a casino or a horse track. You lose, you go, I'm not going back, but people buy them again.
Yeah.
And there's another combination 6 months, 2 years from now that we want to watch. And it's the perfect time of year. I've said it all week, July 20th, there isn't anything going on except baseball.
Yep.
Baseball really doesn't move a needle with most people. And there's no college basketball. There's no NBA. There's no NFL.
That'll be the biggest thing in the sports world for that week, hands down.
Oh, easy. Yeah,
Yeah,
the whole
yeah.
month. The whole month. They'll be talking about it.
And they haven't even really hyped it up yet. We
No.
haven't seen the videos, yet, which I'm sure they'll do more of.
Yeah, they'll
right?
do the press tour. They'll talk all their trash and all that stuff. And that's what I can't wait for is Tyson.
Yeah,
You
I don't know if he's going to do that. I mean, I haven't heard that he wouldn't. I don't know because he's never been that guy. Even when he fought, he would just sit there and be quiet, and then like his crew would talk. I don't know if he's going to do that. It might put part of the thing to sell it.
Jake Paul will.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He
Like
will.
he'll stir that pot. And
Oh, he
he'll
already did.
poke
He
the
put
bear,
out a comment the other night.
poke the bear.
Oh yeah, he put out a comment the other night. It's time for the goat to go down. Da, 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 da.
Right.
But when Tyson left boxing, he wasn't at the top of his game.
No.
He wasn't.
No.
I mean, he
Actually fell off. Quite a
Yeah, he
big
lost his
fall.
last
fell
fight.
hard.
Yeah, he
honestly.
fought- yeah. He was never the same after his divorce.
No.
He just wasn't. He
True,
wasn't the same.
true,
And when
very
his
true.
trainer died.
Yeah.
Jake LaMotta died. Not Jake LaMotta. Oh, God, I forget his name. But the older guy that had him for years, once he passed away, he wasn't the same.
It's a Freddie something, right?
No, that was his corner guy.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But he wasn't the same after the divorce. He just wasn't. Then when he lost to Douglas, one of the biggest upsets in boxing history, like 70-1.
Yeah, that's when
he was going through the divorce then, and then he came back. Then he had a couple of situations with Holyfield. But was he somebody that you mentioned when you talk about boxing? Yeah, for his first, whatever it was, 4 or 5 years, there was nobody better than him.
Well, and that's the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
I feel like peak Mike Tyson is all anybody keeps in mind when they talk about Tyson. Because when he came back from prison, like he had some fluff fights.
Yeah, but
you
he
know?
wasn't the same.
He was never the same.
No.
Never.
And who the hell would be?
No, of course
He was in
not.
jail, what, a year and a half, 2 years? I mean, it's a whole different thing. But yeah, I think his persona's better now with people. He's got a different personality. He's very mellow.
Yeah.
He's got the place in Vegas with, the marijuana. It's a legitimate business he's been doing. He makes millions of dollars. You see videos. He's with his pigeons a lot.
Oh, yeah. No, he's a different cat.
Yeah, he's definitely different. So who knows?
And that's why I kind of asked that. I mean, the Mike Tyson in his heyday to now, has he mellowed down enough to where that'll make a difference in the ring? Again, the videos that I've seen, I don't. I see a guy that's there and he's
still
moving
physically
and he's
impressive.
quick and
Yeah.
he's doing those duck and punch, best way I can describe it in some of those videos.
I've seen
I'm
that
thinking,
video
wow.
where he's got the white beard in it, right?
Yeah.
And the way he snaps, it's just like, yo,
Yeah,
he
lo-
can still throw.
Yeah. He also, in the last couple of years, he lost a lot of weight because he was getting heavy for a while. Then he got back into shape. Also had a setback. He lost his daughter. He's had some tough stuff.
Yeah.
He really has. So,
His whole life has been tough stuff, to be honest with you.
from his childhood. But I think, like I said, people will watch it. July 20th, I'm going to say 7 out of 10 guys in our demo, 25 to 54, are going to watch it.
Was 3 days, 4 days? I mean, it's been announced, right? And there's already so much interest in this. Can you imagine if they get more promotional videos out there?
They
it's
will.
just going to keep going up. I mean,
And some
where else
names
would it
are
go?
like that. I mean, look at what we see now in golf. Anything that Tiger's attached to is infinitely more talked about and watched.
Anything.
And he is a shell of what he was.
Oh, yeah,
He can
yeah.
hardly finish a round.
Well, that's because, again, what you're doing is what most people do is you hold on to the athlete when he was great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it's that name. That name is always going to bring him.
Yeah, I mean,
it's always going to bring people
Same
in.
thing when Brady talks right now, and people say it like that. There are a few names like that. Tyson's one, and also what Tyson brought to the ring and what he did for boxing.
Yeah.
Boxing's never, boxing's fallen off in our country. That's why UFC is so strong.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is.
It's UFC's taking over.
No, if you ask anybody walking down the street who's the world champion of the world, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
In the 70s,
couldn't tell you, yeah,
the
yeah.
70s, in the 80s, and then you had the middleweights with all them, with Sugar Ray and Marvin Hagler.
Did we see the fight yesterday with Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou?
He knocked him down.
Oh man, he folded him like a chair. G.
Yeah, I saw
Did
it.
you see it?
Yeah. But again, it was a Friday night. Nobody even talked about
No.
it. That's what I'm saying.
Nobody even cared.
No, nobody
You
cared.
know?
I mean, this is the thing where I think people are going to say it's different though because it's not pay-per-view. So you get Netflix. When you watch something on pay-per-view, you always hear people say, "I spent $90. What the hell did I get?"
Yeah.
This is it's a little
Right.
different. And I think the product people are going to just watch. Now if they come out with headgear, that's different.
Yeah.
Because then right away that sign's like, it's not too legit.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to get hurt.
No.
It's like when he fought Roy Jones Jr. I mean, that
Yeah.
was
And it was
just-
like two guys going 65%.
yeah, and that was it. So I mean, it really depends what you expect and what is going to come out there. But it'll be talked about. It was consumed. The 4-letter network was all over it. All the sports stations were, all the radio stations. A lot of people feel it's a joke. A lot of people feel it's a money grab. Nobody's come out with a figure yet of how much they're getting.
Yeah.
I thought at least 20 million, but
Yeah.
as I think about it, it's got to be way more because there's no pay-per-view.
Yeah, well, and that's my whole thing too. Is like the lack of pay-per-view makes it like such a like strange way to structure the pay. You know, because like you know pay-per-views like what's the bag? You know, like what's the pay-per-view number that you're hitting that you're like drawing most of this money from? So like I don't know. I think it's going to be very, very lucrative for both sides. And
Well, they
Netflix-
wouldn't be doing it. But
No,
pay-per-view,
exactly.
the different thing is it's like anything else in life. I'm only paying you what I make.
Yeah.
It's business 101. So
Yeah.
if I bring 10 apples and you're supposed to get 2,
Yeah.
you get 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
No,
if,
for
when
sure.
I'm paying you up front, it's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
Because it could bomb, and then it's like, you know what? I paid out the money.
Yeah.
I mean, pay-per-view is whatever amount of number, and that's how these guys make it. That's how, Mayweather made it with
Yeah.
McGregor.
Yeah.
I mean, they crushed it. 100 and something million each. And you still don't get the figure. And I still think after the fight, they went in the back and sat down, drank champagne, smoked cigars. And
Yeah.
said, hey,
Oh, yeah.
what are we doing?
Yeah.
I mean, this is awesome.
Yep.
And we'll never know. But that was the fight I think in the last 10 years that most people were just so much hype about, those two. But those two talk smack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they got dirty with it.
Yeah.
They talked
No.
serious trash. That was interesting.
Tyson's not that quick-witted, and I don't think he's going to do that. So that's where it's going to lose a little steam.
Yeah.
Because, again, if somebody keeps talking blank about you and you don't say anything, it doesn't go anywhere. You're
Yeah.
just sitting there. You're just like, well, and you see a lot of guys in sports that won't come back, and they'll say, hey, that's how he feels. I'll move on.
Yeah.
And then because there's no opponent.
Look, I could see that happening, and then I could also see Jake Paul doing all the talking, and
Yeah.
just eventually in every press conference they have to separate them.
Yeah.
You know, like Tyson will just like have enough,
Maybe.
you know, lisp out a few insults, and then they'll just kind of like meet in the middle and get it all broken
and,
up.
he doesn't have that tough guy voice
No.
either. I mean,
I
I
wouldn't
hate
talk
to
trash.
say it or bring it up, but I
Let my
mean,
fits do the talking.
you know, I mean, I'm going to kick your ass.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, it just it
That
doesn't
sounds like Iron Mike's in the booth with us.
It doesn't translate that well. You
Jamie
know?
Foxx talks about a story years ago where he was doing stand-up, and he used to do a Mike Tyson impersonation. And he was just before he went on stage, somebody came up and said, Mike's in the crowd. And he said he froze.
Imagine that.
Yeah, it was a great thing. You can Google it.
That's like
YouTube.
prime Tyson too. That's the one you don't want to mess with. You really don't know.
Yeah, and he said he did it, and Tyson said it was okay, but he goes, I was nervous.
Oh my God, you're
He's in the crowd. It was like, But again, it's part of sports. Maybe, maybe not. It's not, it's not going to take away from anything, but I think they'll all make money and they'll be happy. It is the locker room. We're going to talk about the NBA. We are going to get into NFL free agency. Where's everybody going? Russell Wilson looks like all of a sudden 10 teams want him, which is amazing, and one team didn't. But that's the way life is. Somebody else's garbage is somebody else's big prize. We got Teddy Covers at 12:35 and so much more in the locker room on a Saturday. We'll be back. Peace.
Real radio is the news junkie.
How young would you go?
Me? I don't know. Not.
What about 21?
I don't know. I really don't.
What if it was
because-
just a one-nighter?
I mean, that's fine. We're not talking.
The News Junkie. Weekday afternoons at 3 on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Hey, it's the Greek for Jason Weiser, my attorney. Whether you were injured due to a car accident or a medical malpractice issue, a slip and fall, or any kind of injury due to a fault of another, their team can help you. Board-certified personal injury attorneys. They can help you determine the responsibility party and pursue the damages and justice you deserve. Contact them at 561-689-8180, 561-689-8180. No fees unless they win. Jason Weiser, my attorney for over 20 years.
I had my first kid at 19, and this is going to sound strange, but the best advice I can give to other young dads is stay. I wanted to run away. I wanted to just keep living my own life, but I chose to be her dad, and now I'm glad I did. I can't imagine my life without my daughter, and I can't imagine making her grow up without a dad.
Dads, today may feel hard, but it's always the right choice to be a father first.
This is the day of the big sale at your gift shop.
Welcome in.
So this isn't just a big day for your business. It's a big day for the network keeping it all connected. That is, if it can handle the pressure.
Next in line, please.
So is it possible to get business internet you can really count on? It is. With 99.9% network reliability from Comcast Business. It's like this neat little bow.
Do you like that gift wrap?
Really ties it all together. Reliable internet for your business. It's not just possible, it's happening. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with internet and security for $49 a month for 12 months with a 2-year contract when you add one unlimited mobile line. Plus, ask how to get an $800 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call or go online today to switch to Comcast Business. Ends 5/5/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 100 megabits per second internet and security edge. EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
International Diamond Center invites you to step into a world of elegance and luxury as we roll out the red carpet for the world's 2 largest bridal designers this weekend. Tacori and Verragio are here with their entire collections. Exceptional handcrafted rings made with intricate detail and craftsmanship. See the entire collection from Tacori. Exquisite handcrafted rings from true artisans in California. And here from New York, see all the latest from Verragio. Unique, distinctive, and personalized. Find the ring of your dreams and enjoy 2 years zero-interest financing. Plus, at this event, when you buy any Tacori or Verragio ring, IDC will give you a $500 gift card. Buy the matching wedding band and get a $1,000 gift card. Don't miss this spectacular event featuring the most exclusive designers in bridal, and let IDC's experts help you match up the most perfect diamond for the ring you'll fall in love with. It's happening this Friday through Sunday, exclusively at International Diamond Center, US 1 and PSL Boulevard, on approved credit.
News Nation invites you to spend Sundays on the Hill.
I am Chris Steyerwalt, and we are joined by a superb panel today.
The Hill Sunday with Chris Steyerwalt takes you inside the halls of Washington.
Here's the thing.
The Hill Sunday with Chris Steyerwalt, Sundays at 10 a.m. Eastern on America's fastest growing cable news network, News Nation. You have a new home and a news network that respects all Americans. To find News Nation, go to joinnn.com.
Hey, it's the Greek from Monroe's of Palm Beach, where all the beautiful ladies are, 7 days a week, open at 5 a.m. And Friday night, it's Fantasy Friday. Costume parties and live stage shows every Friday night. They bring your ultimate fantasy to life, featuring themed costume parties and live stage shows with gorgeous women from Monroe's, entertainers at the top of their game. It's Monroe's of Palm Beach. Get over there every day with a 5-star menu and beautiful ladies. And Friday night is Fantasy Fridays. Peace!
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
This is 3-time Pro Bowler LeVar Arrington. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Staples Stores.
Duke and North Carolina go head-to-head for the latest edition of the Tobacco Road rivalry as the Blue Devils need a win to earn a share of the ACC title with the Tar Heels. Florida men's basketball can get a double bye with a little help, but they still need to come away with a win today against Vanderbilt. And in the NHL, the Panthers are just 1 point ahead of the Bruins. They'll try to keep themselves ahead of Boston by beating the Calgary Flames today. I'm Ginny Haffron.
Staples Print Big Sale means the more you print, the more you save. Get $20 off your print purchase of $100 or more, $50 off your print purchase of $200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of $300 or more. Offer ends 4/6. See staples.com/print for details. Print more, save more at Staples.
Love podcasts? Pull out your phone right now. Open the free iHeartRadio app and check out these podcasts. History on Trial.
Only 30 minutes to put her body in the well.
Dateline NBC.
The first big clue in the mystery.
Mission Implausible.
It means to keep down what was then called the Third World.
Listen today on the iHeartRadio app. More than just the best radio, it's your favorite podcasts too. And best of all, it's absolutely free. iHeartRadio.
It's the Penthouse on Real Radio.
And I fell about 100 foot from the ground. Wow. Hit every branch on the way down.
Oh, God.
And I was pronounced dead from Fort Pierce to St. Mary's.
Jeez.
God.
So I actually died and came back alive.
Well, thanks for sharing that story with us, bud.
That's awesome.
Yeah, have a great day.
You too. Take care.
I mean, I don't know if it's awesome, but it's nice that he's alive.
I mean, it's awesome he's alive.
Yeah.
Not the story's
Okay,
awesome.
all right.
Franny.
All right.
I found a tree, 100 foot. That's awesome. It's great.
The Penthouse. Weekdays 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7. Real talk from the Palm Beaches and the Treasure Coast. This is Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7. Real talk for the Palm Beaches and the Treasure Coast.
World needs plenty of bartenders.
What's your dream? You're listening to The Locker Room. Now back to The Locker Room on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7.
One of my favorite drops all the time. Check, and the world needs plenty of bartenders. I love that. It is The Locker Room on a Saturday on 92.1 Real Radio, talking college hoops, NBA. We'll talk about the free agency in the NFL. Have Teddy Covers calling from Vegas at 12:35 with some winners. Please, we need some winners today. Florida Derby will be here before you know it, March 30th. So there's a lot going on in the world of sports. We'll break it all down. And if you guys want to get involved and get in the huddle, call us at 877-927-6969. That is the number to call to get involved. Good afternoon, Jimmy.
This son of beats all night.
Chick.
He tricked me.
Good morning.
Good morning, Beta Man. FAU Owls, they are playing at 12 o'clock against Memphis. And they're laying 7 against Memphis. Penny Hardaway is the coach of Memphis. It's going to be a good game. I know a lot of my friends are going over there at 12 o'clock to root for FAU as they are playing live in Boca Raton on their campus. Joe's in the house?
I am in the house. What's going on, boys?
Joseph!
Do you like Joe or Joseph?
It doesn't matter. I prefer Joe, but it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
I've been
all
called better. I've been called worse.
Joseph is a son of respect.
Yeah, that's completely unnecessary.
Was it so for me? All right. So obviously James is my the full name, if you want to say. Was it for Joseph? It was when you were in trouble. That's when you got called Joseph.
Oh,
or Joseph in your middle name. That's
I
usually
got
when it's
Joseph
the worst.
Anthony Mazzullo when I was in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. You hear those three? Throw those 3 names back to back to back. Man, your head down, head on a swivel.
Now, how many brothers did you have?
2 older brothers.
Who got into trouble the most out of 3?
Me.
Really?
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
always
but
the youngest.
because and they would. Please, I was set up for everything. I was the fall guy.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, see, it was a little different in your house. So they set you up. It was actually them, but you took the brunt of it.
They were the masterminds behind everything, and I had like 0 fear of consequence. So I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it. What's up?" So it just point me in a direction, man.
Now, how would you say in life it's turned out? Because there's always like these little studies that they show about the kids who are younger and
Okay.
having this and.
I would say this, okay? So not only did I have 2 older brothers, but we grew up when I was probably like 6 or 7 years old. We moved right next door to my aunt and uncle. And I had 4 older cousins, 2 boys, 2 girls.
Okay.
So it's like I was like the youngest of like 7.
6 kids.
I mean, 7 if you like the 3 of us, then the 4 of them.
Okay.
So it's like I was the youngest. I was picked on, beat up,
really
messed with every single day.
Well, it's probably
every
explains
single
why
day.
you're so unstable.
I mean, unstable. I am as patient and laid back, and like nothing ruffles my feathers.
Because you're on
feel
drugs.
I feel like it.
You're on
first
drugs
of all,
now?
what kind of like? Okay,
You're eating edibles.
okay. First of
what
all,
just happened?
Like I get lap
it's
dances.
medicinal.
Oh,
G,
stop. Oh, my
that's
God.
number 1, and I've got a doctor backing me up there. That's number 1.
Gino said,
End
I'm
of
not
story.
in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. You want to throw that path your way? Fine. I mean, I'm saying whatever you guys want to do to justify your angle.
Look, I'm just saying, like being the youngest, you learn patience.
Yeah.
You learn sharing. You learn that you don't always get new stuff. You get stuff that your older brothers used to have that they don't use anymore. So yippee skippy, it belongs to me now. Like that sort of deal. It's just it makes you tougher.
New underwear.
You know?
All right.
Yeah, right. Only 2 holes in that one. That's a win. That's a win.
Now, how about as you became adults? As any of the scenario, because my brother's the therapist says the scenarios that you have as a child with your brothers or sisters don't change throughout life. They keep the same way.
So I would say this: when you live with your siblings, it's always tough. You know, you fight more. You're in each other's face all the time. It's just like
fair enough.
it is what it is. You know. As soon as we all like moved out, we became way closer. Like it went from brothers to friends.
Which is
you know what I
nice.
mean? It's awesome.
right.
It's really, really awesome. I'm going up to Virginia to visit the 2 of them soon. So
They both live in Virginia?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. Mhm.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's
It's
different.
too bad for them.
Yeah, what do they do up there?
Well, my
terrible up there.
oldest brother is a master chief in the Navy, and
Oh,
he's
you've
he's
talked about
actually,
that.
yeah. No, he's
God bless.
super impressed. He's got a Purple Heart. I mean,
Wow.
like he's
When did
Like-
what can you say what theater he was in? He got obviously hurt. That's Purple Heart.
so. I believe it was over in Iraq, and the Humvee went over a like IED or whatever those stupid things are, and like he got banged up for sure, but like nothing, like he wasn't like on the brink of death or anything like that. He just got like
But he's still
bad concussion,
serving.
banged. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does your other brother do?
As a sales rep for a like grocery distributor type deal.
Oh, okay.
Oh
All right,
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha.
He and my father work for the same company, and
cool.
they've been there. They've each been there for like over
Oh,
20
it's
years.
nice.
They
So
kill
we got
it.
a little, we got a little background of your family,
Yeah,
which
for
we've
sure.
asked before.
What happened to
For
you?
sure. What's that?
What happened to you?
A whole lot of nothing, Jimmy. A whole lot of nothing.
I did it
I'll
for
tell
you,
you.
G.
No,
I'm just trying to make like I care because I work on this in 2024.
Trust me, we
Sounds
can
about
tell
right.
that you're trying.
we already know. We already know. What's the point?
I'm working on this. I'm a work in progress. I'd ask people like when you're dating, when you're out with a girl, hey, so what about your family? What goes on? What'd your dad do? Because they did such a great job with you, and I'd just like to know. Like,
Actually, it's more like this.
This, I'm going about.
I'm out. Who
I like
cares?
that he could only get like halfway through. It's like, I don't mean this, right? Just so you know, I'm just trying here.
Hey, lucky you got halfway.
True. I do care about you. I consider you a friend. If you had
Appreciate
any
that. I
kind
think
of
you're
problem,
a good friend of mine.
that's right. I would always help you. But the whole other landscape,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Anything that doesn't directly involve me,
I mean, you get jammed up. I'm there.
I don't wish you poorly.
Yeah. But it's tough.
I just don't care.
Yeah. I don't want to use the word "don't care." That's not a word that I don't really think it concerns me.
But I don't give much care. Does that make sense?
I don't see me profiting on what your family does.
And if you don't profit,
Well, I
doesn't
do.
matter.
Yeah. All right, why are we even talking?
International Women's Day yesterday, so I don't know if
congratulations,
you knew
Joe.
that, Joe. I didn't know if you knew that. I got flowers from the iHeart, which was very nice.
Oh, so they mail them at home like they did everybody else?
Yeah, they get
That
it
was
when I
nice.
got
That
home.
was very nice.
I was waiting for him when I got home.
yeah, of course. There they were.
I said, "Oh my God,
The Palace in Boca.
yeah, Palace. There's no running water. You kidding me?
Really? Oh, wow.
This studio is bigger than my apartment. Are you kidding me? Oh my God! I got a balcony with a diving board. That's
Oh,
how
nice.
bad it is.
Wow. I'll be over later.
To jump.
I'll work on my swan dive.
Yeah, right to the parking lot.
There we go. Had a good run,
Great run.
as they say. True.
877-927-6969. That is the number to call if you want to get involved. College hoops today. Again, UConn's playing. They're number one. Duke and North Carolina is a game at 6:30 this afternoon. Well, early evening. Duke laying 4.5. Want to ask Teddy Covers about that. Seems like a lot for them to give. Kansas and Houston. Houston giving Kansas 7. A lot of points there, but Houston is home. We talked about FAU and Memphis. And then next weekend is the conference championship tournaments, which I loved as a kid. I still do. A lot of great games. We'll see what happens. Vegas has a couple there. Pac-12 is there every year, which is a lot of fun. Caitlin Clark, again, breaks another record last night for the most threes ever. She beat up Steph Curry's record. What I don't understand, people get there hours earlier before the game, but they got their tickets.
Yeah.
It's the first time the Big Ten women's tournament is sold out since 30 years.
That's pretty cool.
30
That's
years.
pretty cool.
Just to see her play.
Amazing.
Yeah.
One person.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's just unbelievable that, they did that. I mentioned it yesterday, but the Big Ten tournament, again, you have somebody with who's great in any sport, people want to come see it.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is.
She's Steph Curry.
Oh, yeah.
She is.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. Her feet don't have to be set.
Nope.
She can be, heavily defended. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
She just needs enough space to get the shot off, and she's dangerous, dude.
Oh, yeah.
She'll splash it from, 24 feet away.
Oh, no.
She's really, really good.
And so smooth.
Yeah.
I mean, just so smooth.
Well, I think also what helps her is obviously her ability is fantastic and all the things that she can do on the court, but she's very likable.
Yes.
She's very nice. She's very humble. And we don't see that in sports today.
No.
And, she's always like, it's an honor for me to wear this jersey. I talked about it last week. You don't hear players say
No, it's almost boring.
Yeah.
You want a little more edginess, just to make it more polarizing, because haters pay more attention than, the people who love you.
That's it.
No
doubt about it. Because how much can you give somebody?
Exactly.
Well, you could throw a lot of hate at somebody and a lot of shade.
Oh, yeah. I can direct all my anger at you.
It's like Brady when you're hearing more stories about him and Belichick, stuff that we didn't know years ago. And Julian Edelman, I listened to his podcast. He talks about
Edelman's
Patriots.
great.
Yeah,
Edelman's funny.
He's funny. He talks about those stories. And he said he was a rookie. They were doing 3-on-3 drills. Then they went to 4-on-4, and he got called in. And he wasn't on the team yet. And he gets called in, and he does like a down and out, and he drops the ball. And he's like, he called his father that night. He was crying, thought he was getting cut.
Yep.
And then, like he said, as a rookie, like Randy Moss had a big thing when he played for everybody, not just the Patriots, but also he would put his hand up.
Yeah.
And Randy would put his hand up after one step. Like, you didn't even know if you're open, but to him, he's open.
Yeah.
So Edelman said that he did it one time, and Brady took his head up. He goes, Julian, don't put your hand up. I see you. He said, so he put his hand down. He goes, then when I started catching 100 passes, I started doing it. He goes, when I did it my first couple of years, he goes, I had screamed at Julian. He does a good Brady. Then he talks about Belichick.
He does a good Belichick, too. He's honestly, Edelman's funny.
Oh, yeah.
He's really funny.
Jules! Yeah, Brady calls him Jules. That's what I call my mom, but he calls him Jules all the time. But Belichick, he says, like, Edelman, are you blanking kidding me? And he would use the other word.
He said Randy Moss would call him Edelnuts.
Yeah,
that was his name.
Yeah. Get my Whirlpool.
Gatorade. Get my Whirlpool.
Get my, great. He's funny, Edelman.
He's really funny.
He really is. But he tells a lot of great stories about, obviously, the Patriots and what happened, how he thought as a rookie he was always going to get cut. But, you said Brady and him, how their friendship evolved, like most do. You become friends with somebody. But like Edelman was like, I wanted to be, part of it. And Brady lived in California, so he would live out in California the whole summer. Yeah. He told a story about the first summer, his phone didn't ring once. And he was just in his apartment. Then, like, the second year, a couple times. Then the third year, it took like 4 years for Brady and him to work out every day. Yep. But he moved out there. That's dedication.
Yeah.
I mean,
first of all, if you're going to attach your cart to a horse, might as well be Tom Brady.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to take you places.
Yeah, not a bad one.
But that's a big commitment to
yeah.
move for 90, 120 days, have no guarantee. And he said, I just told Tom, hey, I'm out in California if you want to work out.
Yeah.
Brady never called him.
Yeah.
Like the first couple of years. I mean, you're paying rent, you're sitting there working every day. And he goes, I wasn't making big money at the time.
It's like, kid, you've been here for a week, all right?
Yeah.
I'm just fine on my own. You'll figure it out.
Yeah. He said Brady already won 3 Super Bowls.
Oh, yeah.
All that stuff. Then he told a story about him and Brady working out. And there was like a calendar on the thing for next Super Bowl. I don't know where the hell it was at the time. New Orleans, and he goes, that's where we're going to be. And Edelman was like, we going on vacation? Like he was, I wasn't thinking through it. He goes, yeah, that's where the Super Bowl is next year. That's where we'll end up. He goes, and they did.
Yeah.
That was the year they beat Atlanta. But yeah, great stories.
Damn cool.
Oh, yeah. Just great stories. But I like the story about he raised his hand, then he came back to the huddle, and Brady screamed out. He goes, they can see it too. Edelman was like, all right, I'll never raise my hand again. 877-927-6969. College basketball is front and center. People love betting on it. Don't forget, you can bet on the Hard Rock app, and it is going to be bonanza over the next couple weeks. The whole month of March. That's why it's called March Madness. And then early April, it ends. UConn is the favorite to win it all. But a couple of the Blue Bloods from college basketball are long shots that just really surprise me how high they are, but they're there. And if you like, like Duke, Kansas, Kentucky, all 25-1, which I think is crazy. And it's great money. I mean, it could mean that, they don't have a shot at all. But to me, I mean, some of these guys that, some of these teams, unbelievable, like national championship. UConn is 5-1. Houston is 6.5-1. Purdue, nobody talks about, 7-1. Arizona, 12-1. Good play. Carolina, 20-1.
Tennessee's really good, too.
Yeah.
I feel like people are sleeping on Tennessee.
Yeah. Duke, 22-1. Kentucky, 25-1. Kansas Jayhawks, 30-1. I mean, come on. Even if we put $1 on all of them, come on. It's something, Joseph.
Yeah, right?
I mean, come on. Oh, by the way, me and my 4 other friends and my buddy came up with this, the $50 scratch-offs that we got together on a weekly basis. That's down the river.
It sunk? Did that sink?
It went off. We hung on for a little while. We did one batch, and we won like $1,200. But again, we're investing $1,500. Then another time $1,300. Then one time $1,600. And then the last book we got nothing. We got $200. So the steam's out of it. Everybody, they're like,
all right. So you're only out about 2 G's each?
No. We're not. We're only out $300. That's it. We invested $300 and we did it 4 times.
Oh, so each one that you got some back, you just reinvested, and then overall.
Yeah, it's only $300 a person.
Right.
But it went 4 rolls.
Yeah.
So on 4 books we bought.
Okay,
Like the first book we bought, we got $1,300 back. So then we all put in like $40 to get another book. And then the second book, we got $1,600.
Okay.
So then we had a third book we bought, which we didn't pay anything for. And then the last book we paid, we ended up invested money again, and so we lost like $300 each. But we got nothing.
Enough.
Yeah,
enough of that.
But it just shows you $1,500 and no winners. Like when you talk about like the odds,
well, just not enough to make back what you had invested, except for the one.
Yeah, the first one and third one we made a little. We got back our initial investment.
Right.
But when you look at it mathematically, if you're saying it's $6,000 in tickets, you know what I mean, and you really didn't even like break even.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, it shows you the odds, is what I'm saying.
Right.
How hard it is. And my one friend who did win $1 million, and he plays a ton every day, but still, it's like, man, it's like you think you play $1,500 worth of tickets, you're gonna get something.
You end up with some sort of profit,
but
right? That's what's the mindset is.
But you don't,
especially on now. Those were $30 scratchers, $50 scratchers, and typically we hear that they pay a little bit, more often. It seems, from some people that have talked to us about it.
No, but they really didn't.
Our buddy Mike from Green Acres, he has mentioned about when he used to get the books,
and he would say it was profitable.
I think he got $30 scratchers.
Yeah.
The books of them, and it would oftentimes be profitable.
Yeah, this wasn't 4 times. It could have been a luck of the draw, like everything else.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
you
go.
That's lottery.
Yeah, you go tomorrow and get 1.
Did anybody hit last night? Did we look?
I didn't think so, but I'm not sure.
Here,
I didn't hear it this morning.
I'll pull it up real quick because.
Well, Joe didn't hit because he's here today.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't look like it.
That's a given. That's a given.
What was last night? Mega Millions, and it's up to $735 million.
Wow.
The next drawing is Tuesday. And, of course, now tonight's drawing for Powerball is up to $521 million. Woo. So, no, apparently nobody hit last night.
All right.
So,
well,
there we
I'm
go.
going to get a couple of tickets today.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to do that. Lotto, if you're interested, is up to $2.75 million.
Keep it. I'm joking. If I won $100, I'd be dancing like Will Smith.
Yeah.
Forget it. College basketball today, 12 o'clock. You got Arkansas and Alabama. Alabama, big favorite today, 15. You got Iowa State and Kansas State at 2 o'clock. South Carolina and Mississippi, 2:30. Creighton and Villanova at 2:30. Kentucky at 4 against Tennessee. Kansas and Houston. Wow, man.
What a lineup.
Well, today, it's crushing it. 4 o'clock. Got Marquette and Xavier at 5. You got Georgia and Auburn, UConn, Providence, and Duke and Carolina at 6:30 tonight. Man, get out to Vega Phoenix and just make it happen. Just kick back and watch some TV. Those are some good college basketball. And then, like I said, next week at this time, we'll have the conference championships. Those are good. Those are 3-4 days. Start Thursday or Friday and go to the weekend. And then, obviously, next Sunday is the 17th. Not only is it Jimmy's birthday, but it's Selection Sunday. Jimmy gave them permission to do that on his birthday. Very nice of him.
Yeah, hey, they stroked me a good check. So
yeah, he could have
we're
been
good.
very self-centered and said, nope, do it on the 16th.
We're good.
But Jimmy let him do it, so Selection Sunday is next Sunday. Oscars are tomorrow night. You can bet on that. Oh, sure. That's when you know it's bad. It's like 9 o'clock Sunday night. You're like, I got to get down on something.
Talk about a bailout.
Yeah. Give me the Oscars. What do you got for Best Picture?
Come on, Oppenheimer.
Yeah. You're like, yeah. Those are the worst feelings. Like the bailout games, I talked about it. Like I'd be in Vegas on a Saturday night, and you would bet Hawaii. It's the last game on the board. And they know when you're betting it, there's nobody in the sports book, first of all.
Yeah.
And there's one guy, and he's usually a guy who's miserable that he's there.
Yeah, right.
His wife left him, the whole thing, it sucks. And you walk up and you're like, and it's the only game on the board. And you always ask the same question. What's the Hawaii line? And the guy looks at you like, this guy has lost his ass.
Guess what?
And also, this is another sound of somebody really having a bad day. You ask the people behind the counter what they think. It's almost the same mentality as people ask people in a restaurant. I love when I go out with girls and they go, what's good here? What do you think the waiter's going to say? Or wait, oh, it's terrible.
Everything.
Get out. Oh, my God, leave. Of course they're going to say it's good. You know what I mean? They're going to be like,
they ask what's good.
Yeah, but
what
still.
do they recommend?
There's
Yeah.
a joint across the street that's pretty solid. It's got a good steak over there.
You know, there's this joint down the road.
But have you ever heard somebody say, not a big fan of anything here, just work here because I make good tips? No.
Nope.
So even when you're asking the guys,
Because they wouldn't make good tips then.
Leo used to ask the guys behind the counter, like, what do you think? Like North Carolina. And I would be like, I'm so embarrassed. Like, why would you ask him? He doesn't know. He's punching tickets. Stop.
Hey, can you light this $50 bill on fire for
Yeah,
me?
like,
You know what?
come
I'm leaning Yankees, but you take the socks.
Yeah, I mean, it's like so crazy. It's like when you go to the track and you ask the people, they don't care. It's a job to them.
Yeah.
Just like
Hurry
a
up.
hooker.
Put your numbers in.
That's it. Get out. So when you're betting Hawaii,
Just like a hooker.
Yeah. Well, you're just a number.
That's a better analogy, actually. I like that one. Yeah.
Your number. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, so I love guys who go to girls at a strip club. How'd you get into this? Like, what'd you think? I went to Harvard, and I was working for American Express, making $800,000 a year, but I wasn't really fulfilled. So I got into being a dancer, and it's more lucrative. Okay, cool. I appreciate that. Like,
Putting myself through college.
Yeah. I mean, whatever you're doing, you're doing. I don't care. And again, I'm not asking your questions, but I'm saying you bet Hawaii on a Saturday night in Vegas. You're crapped out. Yeah. And then you're sitting there. Worse is you're sitting there for 3 hours watching it. And that's even the worst.
It's even worse. Yeah. It's 2 a.m. and you're sweating bullets.
That's right. And then you win. If you win, you're so excited. But the sports book is closed.
Yep.
So you got to go to the cage. So when you go to the cage at all casinos, I know every rule. You got to go to the cage, and then somebody's going to come from the back like 3 a.m. They come back, and she's like, you sit there for a couple minutes. Yeah, you close the throat. Some girl comes out. She's a dime piece, and she's like, "Oh, what do you have?" Oh, the sports, and you explain it. But why do you explain it? You work there, cash the ticket. You know what I mean? It's like, I had Hawaii, and they don't care.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
Do me a favor.
Come on, hurry up. I want to go back to playing solitaire.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do? Yeah, the back
on my phone.
Yeah, to win, they always come out of the back. Like they have all the windows. I'm talking like 3, 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then they come out of the back. Other places, Caesars was different. They would always have somebody there. They come out and cash it, and then you'd be like, ugh. Then you cash it. Then you got to run like a rabbit to your room because you can't stop at the roulette table.
Oh, yeah. Is this just calling
You got to lose it all.
Greek.
Oh, yeah.
Greek.
Yeah. Yeah, call you. Then you got to run
Red
like
23.
a rabbit.
Siren song.
Oh, yeah, I'm hearing like Celine Dion. I'm like, I got to get out of here. Then you get back up to your room like 4 o'clock, 4:15, and somebody's there waiting for you to perform, and it's 4:15 in the morning.
Yep.
I'm
stressed I am.
That's right.
Here we go.
Oh, my God. My shoulder's killing me from playing the long threes.
All right, Raul. I'm in.
Why don't we just get some pancakes and watch the sunset? I mean, that's nice. Sit on a nice table. You hit your foot on the floor, and then the blinds open up. It's pitch black. And then like 6 o'clock, the sun's coming up. It's so nice. And you're sitting there with a little champagne strawberry. Is that tough? and then you're saying to yourself, what the hell am I doing here?
What's wrong with my life? What happened? Where'd I go wrong?
Oh, man, how many times did I say that a day?
A day?
Every day I wake up.
Since 11 o'clock.
Every segment. It's been 3 times since the show started.
I'm very fortunate, and I'm very happy. God bless everybody.
What's your dream?
The world needs plenty of bartenders. 2 weeks.
World needs plenty of bartenders.
It is the Locker Room on a Saturday. We'll get into some NFL free agency. We'll ask Joe, the guru of fantasy football. And we don't throw that name around easy around here. Guru. He's the OG of fantasy football. We're going to talk about a lot of the moves and what are the Chiefs doing and the Bills. My God, they look like they took out a broom, and the Dolphins, too.
Tell me what my team's doing. What's going on?
Oh, no, they let go 7 veterans this week. Shocking. And also the Dolphins, but the Bills, I mean, was a big shock. But the Chiefs, what's going to happen with Jones? And everybody wants a piece of Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
We'll talk about all that and more in the Locker Room when we return. Peace.
Tell your smart device to play Real Radio 92.1 on iHeartRadio. Go on, tell it. Show that damn thing who's boss.
Dave Matthews Band Live, Friday, May 24th and Saturday, May 25th, I Think Financial Amphitheater.
He wakes up in the morning. Mama said, baby, don't you cry. In the dark, in the night, don't let go, baby.
Dave Matthews Band. On sale now at livenation.com. Part of the Ford Concert Series.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Hey, it's the Greek from Monroe's of Palm Beach, where all the beautiful ladies are, 7 days a week, open at 5 a.m. And Friday night, it's Fantasy Friday. Costume parties and live stage shows every Friday night. They bring your ultimate fantasy to life, featuring themed costume parties and live stage shows with gorgeous women from Monroe's, entertainers at the top of their game. It's Monroe's of Palm Beach. Get over there every day with a 5-star menu and beautiful ladies. And Friday night is Fantasy Fridays. Peace!
News Nation invites you to spend Sundays on the Hill.
I am Chris Direwalt, and we are joined by a superb panel today.
The Hill Sunday with Chris Direwalt takes you inside the halls of Washington.
Here's the thing.
The Hill Sunday with Chris Direwalt, Sundays at 10 a.m. Eastern on America's fastest-growing cable news network, News Nation. You have a new home and a news network that respects all Americans. To find News Nation, go to joinnn.com.
Ah, winter, with its cold, dry air causing that not-so-nice winter nose feeling. Thankfully, you don't have to wait for warmer weather to clear sinus congestion and send winter nose packing. All you need is Navage Nasal Care. Navage helps soothe the inflamed nasal passages that are often part of colds and infections. It flushes a pure, refreshing saline solution through your sinuses to give you the soothing moisture you need. Navage also sucks out the other irritants trapped in your nose, viruses, dust, bacteria, and germs too. Winter might feel like it drags on forever, but Navage works quickly, helping you breathe more clearly in just 30 seconds. No decongestants required. Navage is a drug-free solution that helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Get Navage today and make winter a little more bearable. Navage is available online at Navage.com or in stores at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Target. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
International Diamond Center invites you to step into a world of elegance and luxury as we roll out the red carpet for the world's 2 largest bridal designers this weekend. Tacori and Viraggio are here. With their entire collections, exceptional handcrafted rings made with intricate detail and craftsmanship. See the entire collection from Tacori. Exquisite handcrafted rings from true artisans in California. And here from New York, see all the latest from Viraggio. Unique, distinctive, and personalized. Find the ring of your dreams and enjoy 2 years zero-interest financing. Plus, at this event, when you buy any Tacori or Viraggio ring, IDC will give you a $500 gift card. Buy the matching wedding band and get a $1,000 gift card. Don't miss this spectacular event featuring the most exclusive designers in bridal, and let IDC's experts help you match up the most perfect diamond for the ring you'll fall in love with. It's happening this Friday through Sunday, exclusively at International Diamond Center, US 1 and PSL Boulevard, on approved credit.
MMJHealth.com. Get approved for your card today. Medical marijuana made easy.
This is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. If you're a dad who is facing divorce, there are extra layers of stress that may include stereotypes and assumptions. No two situations are the same. Our legal experience and dedication prepare us for whatever legal challenges we face together. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has represented men in divorce.
Offices in Miami-Dade County and Fort Lauderdale. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's attorneys. Se habla español. Legal services available in English and Spanish. Lease a car just for the resident partner. Scott Trout. Licensed in Missouri, Illinois, and Georgia only. CordellCordell.com.
This is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. If you're a dad who is facing divorce, there are extra layers of stress that may include stereotypes and assumptions. No two situations are the same. Our legal experience and dedication prepare us for whatever legal challenges we face together. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has represented men in divorce.
Offices in Miami-Dade County and Fort Lauderdale. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's attorneys. Se habla español. Legal services available in English and Spanish. Lease a car just for the resident partner. Scott Trout. Licensed in Missouri, Illinois, and Georgia only. CordellCordell.com.
Here's what's happening with the weather on Real Radio.
From the Gordon Partners Weather Center, have you or a loved one been injured through no fault of your own? Call 561-333-3333 or go to fortheinjured.com.
I'm CBS 12 meteorologist Charlotte Carl. Still warming up today. Highs expected to reach the mid to upper 80s. Warmest areas will be inland. Moderate risk of rip currents, high UV index, so be sure if you're headed out to the beach to apply your sunscreen and drink your water. Thunderstorms to arrive tomorrow morning with that cold front that will bring us nice cool temperatures to start off your work week.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Hey listeners, do you want to win a scholarship while helping save lives? Well, now you can. Go to ProjectYellowlight.com, a scholarship competition for high school and college students to help with the brakes on distracted driving. Submit your radio ad idea and your submission could be turned into a national radio ad, just like the one you're listening to now. Make a statement, win a scholarship, save a life. Go to ProjectYellowlight.com in partnership with Project Yellowlight, NHTSA, the Ad Council, and iHeartRadio.
No purchase necessary. Ends April 1st, 2024. For details and official rules, hit up ProjectYellowlight.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
From the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys Studios.
Have you been in an accident? Call Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Real Radio 92.1 is WZZR West Palm Beach, an iHeartRadio station.
Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. It's the Penthouse on Real Radio.
What are some of the special days today?
Well, we got a lot of them. Speaking of cookies, it is National Oreo Day.
Ooh.
National Oreo Day, National Frozen Food Day, National Dress Day. We also have Day of the Dude.
Day of the Dude?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Well, that and National Dress Day, they don't exactly go together. Unless you're in Thailand.
Unless you're in Thailand.
By the way, video up.
Or Bangkok.
Real Radio, that's in Thailand.
I knew it.
The Penthouse. Weekdays 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7. Real talk from the Palm Beaches and the Treasure Coast. Listening to The Locker Room.
When I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Now back to The Locker Room on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7.
Welcome back to the locker room. Always a pleasure to have you here on a Saturday. Talking a little bit of sports. Of course, we got March Madness is going to be hitting us up here pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. And boy, I tell you what, every year it's always madness when it comes to March and NCAA men's basketball. Greek, how you doing today, buddy?
Doing good. Just nice to work with a professional like you.
Mm-hmm. What's
really
wrong with Joe?
The day, Jimmy.
What
I'll tell
happened?
you.
Saved the day. Sitting over there looking at his horoscope.
Yeah, talk about that deadbeat again? That is nothing good.
All right, NFL free agency starts this week. They're allowed to start talking to them this week, and I think it actually starts Thursday. They can sign players on the 14th. A lot of big names are out there. Russell Wilson getting a lot of hype because of all the situation with him, with all the money. Both sides made a lot of mistakes. Russell Wilson already has met with the Giants in Pittsburgh. There is rumors that he even might meet with Minnesota, the Raiders. So many teams are looking into him. Where do you think Russell Wilson ends up, Joe?
So, I mean, as far as where he ends up, I mean, who knows? Like, who knows who's inside his head to know where that he wants to go? Because I know a couple of years ago when he got traded to Denver, he had a list of teams that he was willing to go to.
Denver was one of them.
But things have changed for Russell Wilson. Yeah. He's not in that position anymore. He's not a dictate my terms guy anymore. That's long gone, okay? So I think he might want to stay in a kind of a like Vegas with the Raiders makes a lot of sense. You know, I mean, it's he and his wife are very high profile. I mean, Vegas is pretty big time. Like, that'd be pretty cool, right?
New York.
I think the best fit for him, obviously the Giants, New York, and everything like that, but I think the best fit for him, we were just talking about, is Pittsburgh. No questions asked. I mean, Pittsburgh made the playoffs last year because Mason Rudolph came out of nowhere and, like, saved the season and was so good that he was able to help propel that offense into a positive direction, and they made the playoffs. Like, if you substitute Russell Wilson in for Mason Rudolph, that team is straight up scary. It really, really is. The offensive line's pretty good, right? It's young, and it's getting better, right? The defense is always good.
And they got stud receivers.
That's what they do. Stud receivers. Pat Fryermuth's one of the better tight ends in football. They've got two good running backs. What do they need a quarterback.
Yeah.
And Russ Wilson has been there. He's done that. He's got a Super Bowl ring. He's still got some athleticism. He's a good quarterback.
And
right
Tomlin's
now.
a good coach.
He's a great coach.
I think he'd fit very well with Tomlin. Watt coming back, obviously, from his injury.
Yes, Watt will be back. Watt will be A-OK.
He's fine.
Between him and Alex Highsmith, that's one of the best pass rushing duos in football. You're getting Minka Fitzpatrick back. Like, they had a ton of injuries at linebacker last year, and they still, like, he's never had a losing season, Tomlin.
Nope.
It's a ridiculous
17
franchise.
years.
Isn't
how
it?
good they are.
Even last year, with all that they lost in injuries and everything.
You go back to since Ben retired.
Yeah.
Look at their quarterbacks, man.
Terrible.
Trubisky, Pickett, Mason Rudolph. How the hell does this guy not have a losing season? It's unbelievable.
It is amazing.
Well, they play the same kind of ball. They play good defense.
Yeah.
They run the rock. They're not going to give you a chance to, score on them. They're not in many shootouts. He's a very good coach. He knows his division, plays good against his division.
Plays great against them.
And he doesn't go 0-6 against them, ever.
No.
He's always guaranteed a split.
Yeah.
Again, Russell Wilson goes to Pittsburgh. I think that'll be the toughest division in football.
Yeah.
Damn near beat Buffalo in the playoffs this year, too.
Yeah, honestly. Like Pittsburgh's really tough. They're just a sound football team. They haven't been able to figure out quarterback post Roethlisberger or just offense in general. But if you don't have a quarterback, I don't care if you've got Kyle Shanahan or Sean McVay calling plays. Like, quarterback makes it happen. And if you don't have that guy, then you're usually stuck in the mud, and you're going to hover around 5 or 6 wins if your name's not Mike Tomlin.
Now, what about the Chiefs? Well, let's go to Buffalo first. Okay. This week was a crazy week. They released 6 veterans.
Yeah.
And those safeties.
Yeah, and, Micah Hyde's a free agent, so he's going to hit the market, and they cut Jordan Poyer. But Jordan Poyer is getting a little long in the tooth. He's had injury issues recently, and he's made a lot of money.
Yeah.
And safeties aren't too different from running back, whereas, like, you have your few guys that are just freak show guys, like your Christian McCaffreys or so Nick Chubb and stuff. Like, those are the guys that you pay, right? But then there's a lot of good safeties that you're just not going to pay a lot of money to, and that's where Jordan Poyer kind of falls at this point.
He's going to get signed.
He'll definitely get signed. Somebody will pick him up, but Buffalo needs to trim caps somewhere, and they're looking at 2 probably overpriced and aging safeties. And Trey White has had injury issues the last couple of years and a huge cap number. It's the nature of the beast. It's the business. You want to keep these guys as long as you can, but eventually the tread comes off the tires a little bit, and it's not the same guy that you bought 3 years ago at a premium price. And this is just what teams do. You're going to have to get probably some one-year prove-it deals in free agency, which you'll be able to do because you'll get good players to play for cheaper because you have Josh Allen and you have a team that can contend. So you'll always be able to fill holes at a cheaper price, and look around the league. The safety market isn't that high. So why am I going to pay a premium price for Jordan Poyer when I can get Jordan Poyer production at a fraction of the cost?
Well, it's like anything else. I mean, that's life. It's business. It all comes down to the NFL, and when that's what you were worth, and if I can save money with somebody the same speed as you, I'm going to go with it.
Yeah.
I think the biggest free agent defensively is obviously Jones.
Yeah.
With the Chiefs, no doubt about it. They franchise tag Snead this week, who I think is very good, but people have said he's going to be traded. Where does Jones, do you think, end up?
See, that's the one that is so intriguing for me because there's nothing that he hasn't done, right? He's got a Super Bowl ring. He's got one huge well, yeah. I'm just mean in general because a lot of times you get a veteran that's on the market.
Yeah.
So he's going to chase a ring.
Yeah, man.
He's got his money. He's got his rings. I think he wants a payday that is maybe a sign of where he considers his standing in the league, which he thinks he's the best defensive lineman in football, and he wants to be paid as such. And I don't necessarily think Kansas City can afford to do that. And I think they're hoping that he doesn't get what he wants on the open market and ultimately comes back at a more reasonable price, which they're still going to pay out of their ears for him, but they're not going to hit the astronomical numbers that he wants until he's proven that he either can get it or can't get it. He's definitely hitting the market.
Oh, yeah.
That's the whole point behind all of this. He needs to know what his worth is. He wants to see what his worth is, and Kansas City's hoping that his worth is close enough to their number that
I can see Dallas going
come back. Yeah, I could definitely see that too. But I'll tell you, the most interesting rumor I've heard all week since the Combine is that they're not going to restructure Dak at all. He's got a $59.4 million cap hit this year. It's the last year of his deal, and they're not going to touch it, and they're going to let him go into free agency next year. And basically, if he plays really well, wins some playoff games, and gets them to where they want to be, then he's going to have them between a rock and a hard place because you're going to pay me what I want, and you're going to pay me now. Okay, but if he's
making $60 million this year,
but if he doesn't though,
yeah.
And it's another one and done in the first round, anything like that, and then Jerry Jones is like, "Goodbye, Dak. I will figure my stuff without you," because they can't franchise him.
No,
that's worked into his deal. They can't franchise him. After this year, he's a free agent, and there's no wiggle room around it.
Well, I don't think they would do anything because they're 50-50. But Dallas has got more problems.
But tons, and that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
If you're not going to extend Dak. If you don't, because right now he's at $59.4 million. What they would do is do a 3-year extension, slap probably another $150 million on that deal, but it would reduce his cap number this year to, it could be as low as $1 million. It could be, 20, 30, whatever. But just open up as much cap space for this season as you can. That way you can make a run at Chris Jones. You can make a run at Derrick Henry.
Yeah, Chris Jones on that front line would be pretty unstoppable.
Oh, my God.
With Parsons.
And Lawrence on the other side.
Yeah, they would crush it. Yeah, I could see him going. He's going to go, I think if he goes anywhere, he's going to a big market team, and he wants to go where he can win.
Yeah.
He's not going to go to a rebuild. He's not going to go to a team. The guy's got 3 Super Bowl rings.
Yeah.
And I still think at the end of the day, he signs it to Chiefs.
Yeah, no, so do I.
Yeah.
So do I.
Yeah.
Because look, it's a life change.
Yeah.
You got to move. You got to relocate. You got there's a million and one things that go with it. It's not just playing football.
I know, but
it's life.
I know, but when you get paid millions, it don't really matter. You can
No,
put me in
of course.
the worst place in the world. You got millions of dollars. You're like, all
But
right.
gee, it's still a pain in the ass to
Yeah,
move.
it's a pain in the
still a pain
ass.
in the ass to start over fresh somewhere. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but you got your wife, your kids. You just move. I mean,
Hey, you
got
got to
millions
find out where the Wawa is.
I feel like I'm agreeing with you, but you're fighting, okay? Because I'm saying that I think Jones is going to ultimately come back to Kansas City.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I think anywhere in the NFL where you go, where the cities are, there's 32 teams.
Yeah.
When you got 10, 20 million, there's some cities that are more obviously exciting to be in, whether you're down in I think Miami, it's not because we're here, is one of the best city is in the country, also because there's no state tax and weather's beautiful.
Huge.
I mean, it's just the quality of life is great down here.
And that's the thing. Why are you going to sign with a team in California or a team in New York
And get crushed.
that isn't good? Like the Giants and the Jets right now. The Jets obviously have Rodgers, and there's still a little bit of hype if he can actually play.
Yeah.
But why am I going to go to these states and just have taxes destroy my paycheck?
Yeah, not win.
When I can go. Yeah,
Not
I can go play in Florida.
Yeah.
with a smaller contract, but make more money.
Yep. Yeah, Tariq probably getting 5. Maybe you'll call him. Come on down. I did it.
Well, not to mention, as you especially say with California, the cost of living there.
Oh my gosh.
You know, I mean, San Francisco, forget about it. I mean, the medium home price is like $800,000, and I'm not exaggerating.
Kyle Shanahan lives in like a 1-bedroom flat. It's crazy.
I mean, I know when you make 20, 30, 40, $50 million, it's a different story, but still.
It doesn't. For these guys, Jimmy, it doesn't matter. When you're making that kind of money, 20, 30 million, you're like, what's the difference?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's the quality of life, like you said, and if a team's not going to win. If you're used to winning, you want to win.
Yeah.
You don't want to take a step back in your life. He's got 3 rings. He's not going to go anywhere where he doesn't see some kind of path in the year upcoming that he's going to get back to where he was.
Like he's not going to go to an organization where he needs to be the guy to change the culture and to lead the charge, and we're going to do things this way. We're going to start from, ground zero and work our way up. No chance.
No.
He's going somewhere with and established everything that he feels comfortable, and he can just come to work and do his work.
Yeah.
And win.
Yeah, and that's not many teams.
You would think, right?
It's not many teams. Now, the running backs, there are so many running backs. This week is going to be Shuffle City starting Thursday.
Yeah.
You got Eckert, you got Jacobs, you got Henry, you got Pollard, you got Barkley. I mean, 5 off the top of the head. And where the hell do they all end up?
And they're not all getting paid what they think they're going to be paid.
Now, I would say between 10 and 12 million.
Yeah. I think on that list, and I wouldn't even put any of them at the 10 or 12 million mark. I think the 2 that have like the best chance to get there, like what did I see? Saquon Barkley's projected contract is a 3-year, $30 million deal.
Yeah.
Or a 3-year, like 29 and change type deal. And I think even that is a little bit whatever, because let's be honest, man, he's had some injury concerns.
Yeah.
And this is a position, like, look, you take hits constantly. And if you're a guy like Saquon who's so explosive and just like the agility and the playmaking ability is through the roof, but what happens week 1 if he rolls an ankle? And then he's dealing with on and off ankle injury all year long, which has happened with Saquon. It's happened for a lot of guys.
Yeah.
So it's tough to invest that much money in a running back when nobody else in the league is doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got all these guys on the market. They're going to kill each other's value.
Of course.
Straight up.
Well, because there's 8 of them.
And it's not going to be a bidding war with teams fighting over your services. It's which of you is going to take the deal that I want to give.
Economics 101, supply and demand.
That's it, man.
And the other thing, too, is the draft is here.
Exactly.
So you got the draft and you got 8 running backs.
And the draft has a bunch of kids with more juice in their legs than you got at a fraction of the cost. Yeah. It's so brutal, but that's why you see veteran running backs, when they hit free agency, they stay there for a minute.
I'm surprised that the league doesn't switch it with free agency and the draft.
They should.
Yeah, with
they
the draft
absolutely
is first.
Should.
But it would kill the guys playing. It would really hurt because you don't know who you're going to get.
Yes.
You just don't. You could plan on it and this and that, but there's trades and different things. But if it was the other way around,
it makes so much more sense.
It does, but it hurts them, and it's probably with the NFL union that they don't do it.
I agree.
Because then if you got the draft and you already got a running back, you're like, I'm done.
Well, and think about it like this, right? With if free agency were second, because free agency is selective. Like the draft obviously is selective, but you're also kind of a prisoner to how the board falls. Like the players are the players, and you have to kind of wait your turn with everything, right? But if the draft were first, you're going into the offseason like, okay, I need all this stuff, but I'm going to take the best players I can get in the draft, and then I'm going to fill my holes in free agency.
Yeah.
Because, like, I know, like I was able to get this, and this off my list, but I still need this, and this. Now we have free agency. Now I go shopping.
Yeah.
But it's the other way around. So it's like you guess what you get what you can in free agency, and then like, okay, I hope the board falls our way.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, we're going to be without certain things.
And every single team, even the Chiefs, who won the Super Bowl the last 2 years, always have 3 or 4 needs.
Yeah.
So their thought process is, as a GM, let me get a couple of free agency that I can afford and not, spill over the wagon, and then I'll get the rest in the draft.
Yep.
I think if they had the draft first, it's probably done that way by the NFL Players Union because it would kill them with free agents because you would already have it.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd be like, all right, I want to get a quarterback. Oh, you know what? I pick Williams. I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen draft day. People move up. People change. You hear stories all the time.
Yep.
But the 2 ways to get better, obviously, are trades, which would be third, which is rare in the NFL. There's not a lot of trades. It's free agency and it's the draft.
Yeah.
And that's it. And also, you have the gurus who come out every year and they say, this is a good draft for X.
Yeah.
Like they're projecting this is a good receiver year.
Yeah.
This is a good quarterback year. That's what they're saying. And they're saying good alignment. Those are the 3 things that they're saying, both sides. So, these guys have to see what they want. But every team's got needs.
Yeah.
Every single team's got needs. And after free agency, there's more needs.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's it. Because even sometimes, you know what? You might sign somebody and then be like, well, you know what? We got him, but now I got to make room.
Yep.
So I got to cut somebody. Yep. And then you got to cut another veteran. Jimmy, who do we have?
We got Mike on the line. He's in the locker room. Mike, what's going on, pal?
What's up, Michael?
Hey, guys. I'm driving a heavy engine, so let me just pull over here. Hey, listen, I got a question for you guys, and I was wondering how we could reset this quarterback market, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe that Wilson and Watson are way overpaid, but, like Burrow and Jackson, they kind of got what they deserve.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll just say this. Tua deserves more than Daniel Jones, but way less than Wilson and Watson. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, but that kind of puts you like Wilson and Watson were hovering around like 47, 48 million a year, and Jones is at 40, so that puts Tua somewhere around like 44. And look, the tough thing with quarterback is that people look at the pay scale and they're like, okay, well, if Pat Mahomes is only making 51 a year, how can we pay Jalen Hurts 52? Or how can we pay Joe Burrow 53? Or like stuff like that.
Right.
Like everybody equates it to that. But it's not all things are equal. Not every head coach is the same level of coach. Not every quarterback is the same level of quarterback. But the going rate for a high-end quarterback is
40.
what it is.
40 million.
That is what it is. So if the Dolphins want to re-sign Tua, you have to pay him that premium.
Oh, he's going to get $45 million all day long.
Which I got to be honest with you, that's a mistake to me. But I agree with the thought behind it. If he's your guy, that's what you pay your guy.
That's it.
That's what the position demands. So it's not necessarily resetting a market. It's just coming to grips with the fact that not all quarterbacks, franchise or otherwise, are created equal, but they're all going to get that pay if the team wants them to be the guy.
Yeah, you might see other positions in the future, like running back the last couple of years, that changes the market, but I don't think you'll ever see it with quarterback. It's too dynamic. It's too important of a position. And I think people just, believe, hey, if I'm going to win, and you hope all teams want to win, I need an elite quarterback.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Hey, could I ask? Let me just ask you one more question, though.
Of course.
If a guy like Watson, if they made it to the playoffs last year without him, do you think eventually he's making that big old bag and they can say, well, we got there without him? Are they going to turn the other way? And
they can't.
If
Deshaun Watson's contract wasn't fully guaranteed, I believe the Cleveland Browns would have already moved off of it.
Yeah, they can't. It's guaranteed.
And the thing is, they're stuck for these next few years, at least next year. There's the possibility for a very painfully expensive out after this season for Deshaun.
Like the Broncos.
Yeah,
but you're gonna have to
you're paying $80 million that you're eating over the next 2 years.
Yeah,
the fact that Denver's paying $85 million to Russ on their salary cap to not pay for them should tell you everything you needed to know about that situation. He and Peyton did not see eye to eye. Peyton wants him out of the building. He wasn't his style of quarterback. He wasn't good in his system. Like Peyton would have played Jared Stidham from day one if Russ didn't have that contract.
Sure.
But the contract dictates everything.
Yeah,
and
they
that
both
puts
made
you in
mistakes.
Exactly.
The organization made too many mistakes, Denver. That's it. It's just like the 49ers giving up all those draft picks for Lance.
Yep.
I mean, you can't make those kind of mistakes, but at the end of the day, the NFL has so much money and bigger racers, they just keep it up.
Well, and not everything's going to be perfect because, Mike, to your point about Watson and the Browns making the playoffs without him last year, think about what the Browns would have been able to do last year if Watson was the guy they thought they were getting. Like, what if it was 2020 Watson that threw for 30-plus touchdowns and only like 5 interceptions or ran? He led the league in passing yardage. If they had that guy, which is what they paid for and did the move for, they're not a contender. They're a favorite to win that championship.
But it didn't happen.
But what I'm saying, though, is that you can at least justify and understand the move to make it happen. You just missed.
Yep.
You took a shot and you missed, like the 49ers with Trey Lance. You took a shot and you missed. You still have a good team. You're still going to be competitive. But
you can't miss, though, as a GM with those big guys. You just can't because you set the franchise back.
And doesn't it feel like there's a lot more misses in it?
There is.
It just feels like
There's only one winner every year.
Yeah.
That's it. Mike, we appreciate the call, brother.
Hey, I just wanted to say, I'm just worried about the other players getting jealous that they got the bag and they turn their back on them and somebody ends up getting hurt.
Haters going to hate, Michael. That's the world we live in, dude.
Everybody
if you're
knows
not getting
the quarterback,
bag and somebody else says, you're going to hate on it a little bit.
Yeah, everybody knows the quarterback gets paid the biggest. Yep. I mean, it's just the way the NFL is. The running backs don't get paid as much.
Yeah.
But it's just the way it is, and that is the market. But I do agree it's too high. But, again, you never hear one of these checks bouncing.
Well, not just that. The salary cap went way, way higher than they thought it was going to. Everybody assumed there was an increase, but it went up. It's
$30 million, highest.
There's a lot of money.
Thanks for the call, brother. We got to go to break.
All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Take care, Mike.
It is The Locker Room on a Saturday. We'll be back with Teddy Covers and so much more.
Rover's Morning Glory.
Jeffrey, if you had gone to college, what fraternity would you have joined?
I don't know. Probably something that's like into aeronautics and stuff like that, because I'm into airplanes and aviation history and stuff.
Well, what's the airplane fanatic fraternity?
The crux of what I'm trying to say is I know for a fact I'm not fraternity material.
Crappa Delta?
Okay, Doogie. How about Phi 4 Head Phi? For you. That'd be a great sorority for you.
Rover's Morning Glory. Weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on Real Radio 92.1 for the Palm Beaches and 101.7 for the Treasure Coast.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Hey, it's the Greek from Monroe's of Palm Beach, where all the beautiful ladies are 7 days a week, open at 5 a.m. And Friday night, it's Fantasy Friday. Costume parties and live stage shows every Friday night. They bring your ultimate fantasy to life, featuring themed costume parties and live stage shows with gorgeous women from Monroe's, entertainers at the top of their game. It's Monroe's of Palm Beach. Get over there every day with a 5-star menu and beautiful ladies. And Friday night, it's Fantasy Fridays. Peace!
This is the day of the big sale at your gift shop.
Welcome in.
So this isn't just a big day for your business. It's a big day for the network keeping it all connected. That is, if it can handle the pressure.
Next in line, please.
So is it possible to get business internet you can really count on? It is. With 99.9% network reliability from Comcast Business. It's like this neat little bow.
Do you like that gift wrap?
Really ties it all together. Reliable internet for your business. It's not just possible. It's happening. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with internet and security for $49 a month for 12 months with a 2-year contract when you add 1 unlimited mobile line. Plus, ask how to get an $800 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call or go online today to switch to Comcast Business. Ends 5/5/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 100 megabits per second internet and security edge. EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
International Diamond Center invites you to step into a world of elegance and luxury as we roll out the red carpet for the world's 2 largest bridal designers this weekend. Tacori and Viraggio are here with their entire collections. Exceptional handcrafted rings made with intricate detail and craftsmanship. See the entire collection from Tacori. Exquisite handcrafted rings from true artisans in California. And here from New York, see all the latest from Viraggio. Unique, distinctive, and personalized. Find the ring of your dreams and enjoy 2 years 0-interest financing. Plus, at this event, when you buy any Tacori or Viraggio ring, IDC will give you a $500 gift card. Buy the matching wedding band and get a $1,000 gift card. Don't miss this this spectacular event featuring the most exclusive designers in bridal and let IDC's experts help you match up the most perfect diamond for the ring you'll fall in love with. It's happening this Friday through Sunday, exclusively at International Diamond Center, US 1 and PSL Boulevard, on approved credit.
News Nation invites you to spend Sundays on the Hill.
I am Chris Steyerwalt, and we are joined by a superb panel today.
The Hill Sunday with Chris Steyerwalt takes you inside the halls of Washington.
Here's the thing.
The Hill Sunday with Chris Steyerwalt, Sundays at 10 a.m. Eastern on America's fastest growing cable news network, News Nation. You have a new home and a news network that respects all Americans. To find News Nation, go to joinnn.com.
Hey, it's the Greek for Jason Weiser, my attorney. Whether you were injured due to a car accident or a medical malpractice issue, a slip and fall, or any kind of injury due to a fault of another, their team can help you. Board-certified personal injury attorneys. They can help you determine the responsibility party and pursue the damages and justice you deserve. Contact them at 561-689-8180, 561-689-8180. No fees unless they win. Jason Weiser, my attorney for over 20 years.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
If you ever need our help, we're just a call away. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
iHeart Podcast Update. This week on your free iHeartRadio app. Math and Magic. Stories from the frontiers of marketing with Bob Pittman, Season 6. Join iHeartMedia Chairman and CEO as he analyzes the math and magic of marketing, sitting down with today's most gifted disruptors. Marketing School, digital marketing and online marketing tips. Actionable digital marketing lessons learned through years of being in the trenches. Office Hours with Mike Stive. Mike sits down with the world's most important chief executives to answer your most pressing questions about leadership, career, and life. Hear these podcasts and more on your free iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's the Penthouse on Real Radio.
Booked into the Lake County Jail, all because he suspected his girl was cheating on him with a dude from karate class. Then next up in York, Florida, yep.
Does it say, was she having an affair or no? Did they ever say it?
No, they don't say it.
Okay.
She's going to admit to it? She
Just
was?
ask her. That's all I'm just saying.
Yeah, Franny, just ask her.
Right, Jesus.
I mean,
see what he did when he thought, like, he would kill her. She was like, yeah, I am having an affair. Yeah. So, and then we have a Florida man.
How'd that go?
I'm having an affair. So mean, my God.
How am I mean? I'm saying that.
I got feelings.
I just said, did you see what he did to her for thinking it and not knowing factual that, like, if she had an affair, he probably would have done way worse.
I understand that, but I was just wondering if the story said, yes, she was having an affair with the karate constructor.
It's not the karate constructor.
Whatever.
Yeah, well.
He constructs karate.
Mm-hmm. Remember, Priscilla was having an affair with her karate constructor.
It's not a constructor.
Oh, what is it?
Instructor?
Whatever, Franny.
Why are you so mean to me? Karate constructor.
The Penthouse. Weekdays 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7. Real talk from the Palm Beaches and the Treasure Coast. It's the Penthouse on Real Radio.
It's opposite day. Remember that. So anything that you want to do today, it's opposite of what you want to do. So if you're giving somebody a compliment.
Yes. It's also Florida Day. This is when Florida became the 27th state.
Wow.
Union, yes.
Well, I've done a lot for this state, so.
Oh, wow. It's always about you. That and Greece, huh?
The Penthouse. Weekdays 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7. Real talk from the Palm Beaches and the Treasure Coast. Real Radio 92.1. We are an iHeart radio station. You're listening to The Locker Room.
Check you out.
Now back to the Locker Room on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7.
It is the Locker Room on a Saturday, 92.1 Real Radio. So far in the first half, FAU 25, Memphis 24. That's right in our backyard down in Boca. Let's go Owls. Jimmy's in the house.
Good afternoon.
Joe is here.
What's going on, boys?
And it wouldn't be a Saturday without this guy, our sports handicapper aficionado, the best of the best, the cream of the crop. Teddy Covers joins us.
Greek, what's the good word today, my friend?
Oh, you, Teddy. How are you, my friend?
I am doing okay. It hasn't been a great week. I've had a little bit of a frustrating week.
Yes.
All that being said, it certainly hasn't been a disaster. It's not like I've gone through one of these, nightmare stretches. But I felt like this is a week that I should have made money, and I haven't. So in that regard, I'm a little bit frustrated. That being said, boy, I mean, when you talk about your favorite times of the year,
yeah,
I think this next week, between today and next week before Selection Sunday, in my mind, that's the best of college hoops.
I love it. I love the conference championship tournament. Yeah, I always do. I always did, even as a young kid. I always liked that. It's exciting. I remember going to Big East, finding it. I mean, your backyard, you got a couple of tournaments right there in Vegas.
We got a ton. I think there's 5 tournaments out here.
Yeah.
The West Coast Conference already at New Orleans this week. We got the Pac-12. We got the Mountain West. I think Big West is coming as well, and I forget who the 5th one is. But the bottom line is, there's a ton of tournament action here in Las Vegas. And remember, for all the hype of the big dance, and of course the big dance is the opening weekend is one of the funnest times you'll ever have.
Yeah.
But every single point spread is right.
Yeah.
Because every team's coming to play.
Yep.
In these conference tournaments, you can find situations every year where some of the top seeds are looking to the big dance and not the conference tournament.
Yep.
And you have really good opportunities to fade some of the top seeds, catching 8, catching 10, catching 12 points with teams that don't care that much about these particular games. So I love conference tournaments from a betting standpoint. I don't think there's a better week out there for college basketball than the week we're about to have.
I agree with you 100%, one of my favorites. So let's get into it because I always have 5 or 6 games I want to talk to you about, a couple different trends, and let's start with some picks.
Sure. Let's start this afternoon. The Canes are playing the Seminoles in college basketball action. I'm sure that's one probably on your radar. 4 o'clock Eastern time, 1 o'clock here on the left coast. I'm seeing Florida State minus 4.5, total sitting in the 153.5 range. And the play here, for me at least, is on the over in this ball game.
Okay.
Look, Miami's had a real rough go of it.
Yep.
Yeah, they had from the Virginia game where they scored 38 points, the offense has been hit or miss. They had the game against Duke that they couldn't score. They had the last time out against BC they couldn't score. They've had more than their fair share of weak offensive showings. That being said, that's giving us a relatively deflated total here, coming off the game in which everything went wrong. Larinaga talk about, hey, we got to push. Florida State's going to push pace. All right? We know their game plan. They've been a consistent over team in recent years. They've been a consistent over team again this season. They've got over 3 in a row, 4 to 5, 8 out of 10. This team wants to push pace. And today is a day where Miami, I think, is going to run with them. The series history, lots of high-scoring affairs between these two teams. First meeting this year went over the total, went over 156 in that game. We're getting a cheaper price here. I expect another high-scoring affair. Give me Florida State and Miami over the total.
Which is what again?
153.5.
Okay. All right, where are we going next?
Does that work for you?
Yep, it works.
Let's go.
It works for me if they score 154.
That sure does, exactly. That's all they got to do.
Yep.
But it's also a type of game where there's a reason. The point spread range gives us a chance to get scramble points at the end. I mean, there's a lot of things pointing besides pace towards a high-scoring affair in Miami and Florida State tonight. Let's go out to the West Coast. Give you a little West Coast action. 9 o'clock Eastern time. That's not really West Coast. We're talking Utah. In fact, we're talking BYU against Oklahoma State right now. The Cougars, 13.5-point home favorites in Big 12 action. And the word revenge gets thrown around a lot at this time of year.
Yep.
There's a handful of revenge games that really stand out. And certainly this is one of them. All right. BYU the first meeting against Oklahoma State, the Cowboys came out and they were on fire. I mean, they couldn't miss. They shot 59% for the game, 50% for three-point range. They took a big lead and blew them out. Oklahoma State's not the better of these two teams. All right?
No.
They had one magical night at home. It was their highest scoring game in the entire Big 12 season. They're tanking down the stretch, all right? They had that game against Oklahoma that they lost by a bucket in overtime. And since that, it's been 3 straight blowout losses. Now it's the regular season finale for a team with a glass chin against an opponent that, on a meaningful senior night in a meaningful revenge scenario, I think BYU is going to smoke this team. Cougars, minus 13.5. It's a game I expect. I wouldn't be shocked at all if this point spread's covered by halftime, and BYU pulls away and wins by a pretty significant margin.
Okay.
Cougars, minus the point.
All right, and where are we topping it off with?
Oh, you're going to hate this NBA.
Oh, I can only imagine.
You got to bet on the Blazers.
Yeah.
I'm going to make you bet on the Blazers tonight if you want to follow me.
Oh,
Portland +3 against Toronto. Let's start with this. There's a decent chance the Blazers get a couple of guys back today, most notably Scoot Henderson and DeAndre Ayton. Don't know for sure. There's a decent chance those guys come back. More than anything, this is a bet against Toronto. Okay, Toronto has no business as road favorites right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is a team. They're playing without Scotty Barnes. He's their all-star. They're playing without Jakob Poeltl. He's their starting center. They're playing without Bruce Brown. He's their best scorer off the bench. They've 1-4 their last 5 ball games. They're on this long road trip out west. This is not a team that's playing with any urgency right now. And it's not a team that's very talented right now. They got no business as chalk. It's worth noting, Blazers lost last night at home, first of back-to-backs. You don't want this team on the second of back-to-backs.
Mm-hmm.
Look what they've done on the second of back-to-backs. They beat Houston +10. They beat Philly +5.5. They beat Memphis +2. And they win this game. I certainly think they come close if they don't. Blazers +3 at home against the Raptors. That's a 10-10 Eastern time tip-off.
All right. Talking to Teddy Covers from WagerTalk.com. Likes the over in a Florida State Cane game, over 153.5. Always does like BYU, over 13.5 for Oklahoma State, and likes the Blazers tonight, +3. Teddy, you mentioned something that I've been seeing a little bit of a trend of in the last week. It's only time of year it could happen. Senior night. It seems like a lot of teams who have senior night, obviously it's sold out. The parents are there. You see a little bit of a trend where teams that are big favorites are blowing out because it is senior night and they want to, do what they can in front of the parents and everybody, or no?
I mean, so I'll be very honest with you. It's really hard to track. If you're going through conference by conference, senior night by senior night, you can do it. It's not something that I've chosen to take my time to do. So I can't give you the track record across sports. I do say this, all right? When it comes to senior night and last home game and that sort of thing, pay attention to how many seniors are on the team.
Yeah, that's important, obviously.
Some analysis the other day, it's senior night for someone, and the team didn't have any seniors.
No, it doesn't matter. Yeah, obviously you got to know that.
When you have a team that's got a bunch of seniors playing their last home game, it's a meaningful, and they've had and not just a bunch of seniors, guys who've been there. That transfer that comes in for 1 year, it's not the same. But when you have a team with a bunch of guys who've been there, certainly the senior night is worth something. For the vast majority in college hoops, you don't have a lot of teams with a bunch of seniors who've been there for 4 years. Most of these senior nights, I give very little credence to. And I have no hesitation betting against a team that's being asked to lay a little bit too much of a price, even though it is senior. Remember, seniors are happy if they win the game by a point.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Hey, we won. It's not always about winning by margin, and that's another thing to remember when we talk about these type of games. The margin much more important to us than it is to them.
Of course. Now, we're going to look at a couple of games that I got circled and a couple of teams that we talked about the last couple of weeks. Arizona, again, just blowing teams out, playing USC. I don't see any reason that stops tonight and that they win their conference tournament. What are your thoughts?
So I don't want to lay with Arizona tonight.
Okay.
USC for a couple of reasons. First, they just clinched the conference. It's a meaningless game for them.
That's true.
They had the big blowout over UCLA the other night. Everyone's celebrating, and I worry about that. Second is that real quietly, underneath the radar, Trojans are playing good basketball, way better than they were playing earlier in the seed.
Mhm.
Way better. And the market's been a little bit slow to catch up. So I'm not laying with Arizona tonight. If I had to play the game, I would take the points with the Trojans before I laid it with the Wildcats.
All right, another big game. Houston and Kansas this afternoon. Kansas catching like 7. Houston, they're not playing well. They're winning, but they're not blowing teams out. I think the Jayhawks could be stay within that 7. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it's 8 now.
Okay.
There's injury concerns for Kansas, and a pretty big one.
Oh, okay.
In terms of Kevin McCullough. McCullough's at 19.6 rebounds, 4 assists. He's as good as anyone on the team. And that is a recent injury add for the Jayhawks. So, I don't mind taking a team without a star player, even in a hostile environment. But Houston's in revenge here. It's their senior day, and this is a senior day that I don't know that I want to step in front of. I don't want Kansas today.
All right. What about Duke and Carolina? Big game.
Yeah, I never play it. I mean, I don't know. I can't remember the last time I played a Duke Carolina game. I'm not playing this one. I wasn't close to playing this one. The line's right. I think Carolina's the better of these two teams.
Yeah, so do I.
Duke is laying, so I guess I lean that way. But, you don't see a lot of series sweeps.
Carolina beat them the first time.
You just don't.
And they beat them bad.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I lean North Carolina because I think they're the better team, but it's not a game I'm going to play.
Yeah.
There's weird things happen in Duke, North Carolina. Funky things happen in that ball game, and it's not. It's just that I'm not. I wasn't close to playing it. I'm still not close to playing it. I guess I lean Tar Heels plus, but it's not. Not anything I'm getting the window with.
UConn and Providence tonight. UConn's just a machine. Would everybody beat Marquette the other night? I know they clinched, but they think they keep it going tonight?
So a couple of my buddies really like the Providence side in this ballgame. The sharp money's all on Providence here.
Okay.
It's their senior night. And, again, when you talk about this, it's truly a meaningless game for UConn.
Yes.
Conference title's sewn up. Number 1 seed is sewn up.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger picture stuff is all ahead of them, and this is like the meaningless regular season finale. Friars are pretty good. Yeah, I'd be much more interested in taking the points and laying them in that one. Like I said, some of my sharp buddies really like the Friar side, plus the points in this one. And I'll tell you this, every sharp dollar in this game, the money's come in on Providence. So Providence a clear, quote-unquote, wise guy side for Saturday night.
All right, a team that's up and down this year, Texas playing Oklahoma. Texas laying like 5. Oklahoma, some nights they really put it up and do well, and some nights they don't. But this is a game that I think there's a lot of juice in. But I do like Texas to pull away.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they do. That was one to me. The line felt right.
Yep.
It wasn't a situation where I'm excited about betting Texas here. It wasn't a situation where I was excited about betting the Sooners here. I expect a competitive game. This isn't a blowout scenario. And 5.5 is the right number. So it's just for me. It's one of those games where you spend a few minutes looking at it and you go, nope, there's nothing here. And especially on these Saturday cards, there's a lot of games.
Oh, sure, tons.
Look at for a minute or two, you say, nope, let's move on to something, but we might actually bet. For me, Texas, Oklahoma was one of those.
All right, I'm going to switch to the NBA. Boston Celtics tonight against Phoenix. Celtics, bad game the other night, obviously, against Denver. Didn't play good down the stretch. Brown had a great game. Phoenix, obviously, they're home. Think Boston just plays out the rest of this road trip, or you think they bounce back tonight?
Oh, if I'm playing, I'm laying. Celtics off back-to-back losses, count me interested.
Okay.
Let's just look at some of these numbers off a loss. It's really crazy what they've done. 126-97, they're winning. They beat Minnesota. They 145-113 off a loss against the Bucks. They lost to Denver, came back and beat Houston by margin next time out.
But this is 2 losses.
Off a loss to Clippers. They beat Memphis by 40 after losing to the Lakers. I mean, it's a team. Now it's back-to-back losses for Boston.
Yeah.
The Celtics are the best team in the NBA right now. They're the best team in the NBA by a wide margin.
Even over Denver, you think? Wide margin?
Better. Oh, yeah. They're 3 points better than anybody.
Okay.
At least 3 points better. Who would you call the number 2 team in the NBA right now?
I would say, to me, Denver's still 1, and then Boston's right there.
Oh, yeah. So my number, I've got Boston 3 points higher than Denver.
Okay.
4.5 points higher than OKC and Milwaukee.
Yeah.
6 points higher than Phoenix. 6.5 from the Clippers.
Yeah.
6.5 for the T-Wolves. Boston's better than everybody.
Okay.
They're way better than everybody. And they're coming off back-to-back losses in a game in which Jason Tatum in particular had a pretty miserable showing.
Yeah.
Now, look, Phoenix is live against anyone. When Durant's hitting, and they could have Booker back tonight.
Yeah.
If Booker comes back, I expect this number to go down. But the Suns are, when the shots are falling, they're gonna be live to beat anyone. But Boston is the better team, and I could only play the Celtics in this one. The price isn't right. Obviously laying 5.5.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've got Boston as the highest rated team in the league, and my number on the game is only 5. So it tells you where the markets have these Celtics priced at. But that's the only way I could play it. If I'm playing, I'm laying.
So, Teddy, I know you've been a fan of this Heat team for the last few years. Now they've kind of sleptwalked through the regular season and really made an impact in the playoffs. Do you see that happening again this year? Do you think this is a different Miami team and maybe they're kind of at the end of the line of those types of runs?
Yeah, Miami's not going anywhere this year.
Yeah.
But I said that last year.
Yeah, that's the whole reason for my question. Because I'm afraid to put the nail in the coffin because we saw this last year. They lost the first play-in game.
Sure. So Boston's the team to beat in the East. Milwaukee is clearly number 2 on that list. Okay. The Heat have been able to have some success against Milwaukee at times. Boston, I think, is a tough matchup for them.
Yeah.
And then you have the I'll call it, we don't know what Philadelphia is going to look like in the postseason, but a healthy Sixers team is scary.
Yeah.
A healthy Cavs team is scary, and I'm power rating them higher than Milwaukee. And a healthy Knicks team could give the Heat a real battle. They could beat the Heat. So I've got a good, 5 or 6 teams in the East as good or better than Miami, and that tells me I don't expect Miami to come out of the East again this year. Not going to sell them short.
Yeah.
But it just hasn't been that type of season for the Heat. And I don't think it is. Look, they cashed me again last night, plus the point.
Yep.
In OKC.
And they could almost cover the other night against Dallas. It's unbelievable though. They don't cover home. Yeah. Like they were just home. Utah and Detroit, both games they don't cover. But when they go on the road, I don't know what it is. They just play better.
Well, this is not a new trend for the Miami.
No, it's for years.
This has been making me money for 10 years.
Yeah.
Eric Spoelstra, home chalk, big chalk, they don't come to play.
Nope.
And they find a way to steal it at the end. They never cover never. They're not positive expectation, -8, -10, -12 at home. They very rarely will you find me laying that with the Heat. But you give this team the points, put them on the highway against somebody good, they're into the game the whole way through. And I worry about their shot making down the stretch against good defenses. We saw it again. We saw it in the Dallas game. That's why they didn't cover against Dallas.
Yep.
We saw it again last night against OKC, where they just couldn't create buckets when it mattered most. Luckily, the number was high enough for them to still cover the number. But that is a concern for me now for Miami. And if it's a concern for me now, it's not going to get any easy for them when they're facing better defense in the postseason. So I'll take the no on the Heat returning to the finals this year.
Oh, yeah, I don't think they do that. The thing with the Heat is they always get off to a good start when they're on the road. Both games this week, Dallas and Oklahoma City, get out of gate strong in the first quarter and usually leading at half by a few points. And I think that's a big thing where they don't do that when they're home. They come out very sluggish. And you would think it would be a different way, but it always happens. Teddy, what was the reaction in Vegas to this Tyson fight with Paul? Anybody talking about that?
A fair bit, actually. More than I thought.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
Nobody knows what to make the line. I'll tell you that. I mean, I've got Paul, a 3-1 favorite.
Yeah.
But nobody knows what to do with the fight. And so I shouldn't say nobody. None of the people that I talk to are like, yeah, it's a fun, this is for the public. In terms of a betting angle, forget about it, No idea if Paul is worthy of a 3-1 favorite.
Crazy.
I had one friend that told me that, that it can only, the money can only come on Paul. If you want to bet him now. But, again, this is pure entertainment. From a sports standpoint, yeah, I guess it's sport. But mostly this is a cash grab.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And people will bet on it, and people will watch it, which is crazy, especially July 20th when there isn't anything else going on.
Yeah, I've already got it circled, man. I'm going to have a party in my house that night.
All right, cool.
Oh, nice. I'll be over around 6.
Jimmy's in.
I'll bring wings.
He'll bring wings. Teddy Covers, always great talking to you. Tell everybody how they can consume and get the information you need for sports betting to be successful.
So I got a promo code for you guys today.
Okay.
Visit the website, wagertalk.com. We got a ton of free info. We do multiple videos every day, live lines, and we got picks if you want them. Wagertalk.com. Use promo code Teddy25 at checkout. Again,
your age.
TEDDY 25 at checkout. And you get 25% off any and all access passes.
Cool.
On a 1 day, a 3 day, a 7 day, a 30 day, a 90 day, a full year. It doesn't even have to be me. You can use that for anybody on the site. Teddy25 at checkout. I'll get you 25% off any all access pass. You can always follow me on Twitter at Teddy_covers.
Teddy, have a good day and have a great week. We will talk to you next Saturday, and there'll be a lot more excitement as we will be handling the tournaments, and there'll be some trends already in the first couple days. Have a great week, my friend.
I look forward to this next week very much, Greek. Have a great day.
All right. It is the Greek, Jimmy and Joe, Teddy Covers. Jimmy will put Teddy's Covers picks up for you. We'll be back in a few minutes. Peace.
No one gives a big warm hug like us when you need it. Come on, get in here. Tell your smart device to play Real Radio 92.1 on iHeartRadio. What?
This is the day of the big sale at your gift shop.
Welcome in.
So this isn't just a big day for your business. It's a big day for the network keeping it all connected. That is, if it can handle the pressure.
Next in line, please.
So is it possible to get business internet you can really count on? It is. With 99.9% network reliability from Comcast Business. It's like this neat little bow.
Do you like that gift wrap?
Really ties it all together. Reliable internet for your business. It's not just possible. It's happening. Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Get started with internet and security for $49 a month for 12 months with a 2-year contract when you add one unlimited mobile line. Plus, ask how to get an $800 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call or go online today to switch to Comcast Business. Ends 5/5/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 100 megabits per second internet and security edge. EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Rev up your automotive care with Amazon. For DIY projects and regular vehicle maintenance, Amazon Automotive makes finding the right parts for your car easy. You can use your garage to easily view, manage, and use the Automotive Parts Finder to find parts for your saved vehicles. Just add your vehicle's details to your Amazon garage. Then shop with confidence using Amazon's Part Finder to explore compatible parts and accessories and receive customized recommendations. Get started today at Amazon.com.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today.
Sneezing, coughing, stuffy nose, runny nose, postnasal drip, interrupted sleeping. I was groggy at the end of the day.
Allergies and sinus congestion were making Jana miserable. Then, a friend recommended Navage. Navage provides immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Navage helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
Navage gave me instant relief. I didn't have to wait 30 minutes. I didn't have to wait an hour, 90 minutes. I didn't have to wait a minute. I ran the rinse and I felt better.
Stop suffering from congestion and start breathing and feeling your best again with Navage. Navage.
I've had people ask me how I find relief, and I tell them Navage immediately. This thing is amazing.
Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid.
How do I, Dad? Here's something I do. I write a letter to my kids every month. Yep, I write a letter and send it to my own house. I'm pen pals with my own kids. I know it sounds silly, but they love it. I don't write anything crazy. Just tell them I love them, ask them questions, whatever. Normal stuff. But when it shows up in the mailbox, I'm super dad.
Write your kids letters or try something else. Just choose to be a father first today.
News Nation invites you to spend Sundays on the Hill.
I am Chris Direwalt, and we are joined by a superb panel today.
The Hill Sunday with Chris Direwalt takes you inside the halls of Washington.
Here's the thing.
The Hill Sunday with Chris Direwalt, Sundays at 10 a.m. Eastern on America's fastest growing cable news network, News Nation. You have a new home and a news network that respects all Americans. To find News Nation, go to joinnn.com.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more. Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations like The Vinyl Experience.
Any way you want it, that's the way you need it.
Just search Vinyl Experience and listen now on your free iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
Here's the latest with weather on Real Radio.
From the Gordon & Partners Weather Center. Have you been injured in a motor vehicle accident? Call 561-333-3333 or go to fortheinjured.com.
I'm CBS 12 meteorologist Charlotte Carl. Still warming up today. Highs expected to reach the mid to upper 80s. Warmest areas will be inland. Moderate risk of rip currents, high UV index, so be sure if you're headed out to the beach to apply your sunscreen and drink your water. Thunderstorms to arrive tomorrow morning with that cold front that will bring us nice cool temperatures to start off your work week.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's. Wendy's breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles lets you choose your perfect duo from your fave 4, like a sausage or egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, or medium hot coffee. Limited time only during breakfast hours. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in the combo. Single item at regular price.
Join us Monday night for our 2024 iHeart Podcast Awards, presented by The Hartford, live at South by Southwest. We'll honor the very best in podcasting from the past year and celebrate the most innovative talent and creators in the industry. Watch Monday night, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific on iHeartRadio's YouTube channel.
Presented by The Hartford Small Business Insurance. Learn more or start a quote at thehartford.com/small business. With insurance designed for your small business, the Bucks got your back.
From the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
You've been in an accident? Call Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Real Radio 92.1 is WZZR West Palm Beach, an iHeartRadio station.
Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. You're listening to The Locker Room.
This is where the magic
Puppies.
Now back to the locker room on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7.
It is the locker room on a Saturday. FAU Owls leading at halftime, 42-35 over Memphis. Let's see if they can hold on. Owls still having a good season, 23-7. Playing Memphis, 22-8. Jimmy's in the house.
Hello and good afternoon.
Joseph's here.
What's going on, boys?
Jimmy has put up the picks for Teddy covers. Again, Teddy just liked Florida State, Miami over, 153.5. Likes BYU to smack Oklahoma State by 13.5. I agree with that one. And then he likes Portland +3 with Toronto. Portland, not a great team playing back-to-back, but he likes them. At the end of the day, when Teddy picks something, I'm going to go with it. Joe just got some information on a big trade that he's like going, what about?
Yeah, no, I'm excited about it. The Cleveland Browns have acquired Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver from the Denver Broncos, for a 5th-round pick and a 6th-round pick.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
That's a
It's a pickup.
Yeah, that's a in my
and they
opinion,
still won't make the playoffs.
That's a really they made the playoffs last year, G, just like I told you they would.
Oh yeah, and they went home real quick. They went home in 3 hours?
Where'd they go home from?
Houston.
What was in Houston?
Didn't they lose to Houston?
The playoffs.
Oh, so what?
I'm just saying.
So what?
Don't say that they're not going to
You
make the
said they were going to
playoffs.
Super Bowl.
Don't say they're not going to make the playoffs a year after they make the playoffs with Joe Flacco.
That's who they had. Joe Flacco was probably better than Watson.
Was he?
He might have been. Who
Was
the
he?
hell knows?
Was he? Threw a lot of interceptions, G. Watson was 5-1 as a starter. Just saying.
Yeah, just saying.
Just saying.
$200 million. Hey, I'm happy you guys got a receiver.
5th-round pick, 6th-round pick for a
he's good.
starting wide receiver is excellent. It's a
like
talent
Cooper.
level and a player that you're not going to find in either of those rounds, at least not in year one.
No, it's a great pickup.
A great pickup. I got
He's a little bit
no
of a
issue
head
with it.
case, but every receiver is.
Yeah, every receiver is to a degree. Denver has had a litany of problems for the last few years since he's been there since 2020, and it's tough to really like pin that on a wide receiver. So, and like we talked about during the break, wide receivers are like the ultimate victim of circumstance. You
Yeah,
know?
the one thing with Denver, I got to say, since Elway stepped away, he got sick. He played there for years, obviously brought him to a lot of Super Bowls, won 2 at the end, and he was in their front office for a while. They're a very stable franchise. But since he's left,
it's not been good.
No.
Yeah.
New ownership obviously came in, so that's going to change things. But Denver is not a team that, and even with Sean Payton, it seems like sometimes when they get these coaches or even players that miss a year, like Watson out a year, Sean Payton away from the game a year, and it seems to have an effect on them, and usually not great.
Yeah, not great. And the thing is with Sean Payton is that he came in and it's like he played like their brand of ball for one season and it didn't go great. And what you can see right now is he's tearing that thing down to the studs and he's going to build that roster and that team in his vision. And George Patton's the general manager. He's the one that swung the trade for Russ. He's the one that drafted the majority of these players that are in the building right now. I don't know how long he is for the job. I really don't. He was brought in with a different coach, different regime, all that stuff.
Payne will get rid of him sooner than later.
Yeah, that's kind of like where I'm leaning here. And I mean, look, you're already taking an $80 million cap hit for the next 2 seasons with Russell Wilson. I mean, 80 plus. It's around like 86 in total. It's brutal.
Worst
and that
one ever.
Also, I mean, if you break down that number, okay, because like $10 million a year for a position player is probably a good to elite player, right? That means that Denver is paying, 8 elite starting players' salaries to a guy who's not even on the roster?
It's terrible.
It's brutal.
Yeah, they
I think this is going to be the type of thing where they start shedding all their big contracts. They already cut Justin Simmons, who's a phenomenal safety, really good ball player.
He's going to get
great
signed.
in the community, too. Oh, he'll get picked up in a heartbeat. That's like I read something the other day that it was a bigger loss for the city of Denver than it was the Broncos because of how great a dude he is off the field and how charitable and all that stuff. But
and the big Chiefs.
I think this is an absolute tear down of the studs, rebuilding his own image. You're going to have Jarrett Stidham as your starting quarterback most likely. I'm selling on the Denver Broncos season for 2024. Already.
Yeah, that's a division a year ago everybody looked at to being really, really strong, and now 2 teams are going to be in really disarray. The Raiders are still, they got Pierce back, but they need a quarterback.
Yep.
And you're going to have the Chargers, obviously, with Harbaugh there, see if they turn, but you still got the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, there's the Chiefs and everybody else.
There's the Chiefs and everybody else, but if you're not paying attention to the Harbaugh-Herbert combination, man, that thing's going to be trouble for the NFL.
Yeah,
big
well,
time.
down
It
the
really
road.
is.
We'll
I
say.
I think Harbaugh's that good a coach. You know,
He is a good coach. I'm not saying he's not, but he's got to have the players. I
No,
mean,
of course.
the Chargers have a lot of problems with salary cap.
I'm not saying that they don't. You know, I'm just saying that Harbaugh's the type of guy that is going to put his stamp on that team.
Of
They're going
course.
to run the ball well.
Yep.
They're going to be well coached. They're going to play tough defense, and then hopefully Justin Herbert can do what he's capable of doing, and that's what really can set that team off. you know?
I think he's a great passer, and he's broken all these records and unbelievable numbers the last couple of years. I got to let that kid pass. Throw the rock second, run first. That would be something Harbaugh doesn't do. He does it the other way, so we'll see. But I think the thing that makes the NFL so good is that people talk about it in April. People talk about it in March. People talk about it in June.
Yep.
As soon as July comes, people start counting the days to training camp.
Oh, yeah.
That's what makes the NFL so much stronger than the NBA. Obviously, same thing. College basketball gets in a big highlight over the next month. Next 3 weeks, it's huge. But then after that fizzles out.
Yep.
And that's what makes the NFL so big. And everybody talks about it. You hear people say, hey, and you want the expectations that we're going to go into the season. Do we have a chance? Now, I think the Dolphins, I thought, have a very good chance. But defensively now, I'm a little worried with letting the close, a few of these guys go. Now they're going to have to pick up some guys, obviously, in the draft. We'll see what happens.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's the price of doing big time quarterback business.
Sure.
And if you're going to pay Tua, then you're going to lose Christian Wilkins. You're going to lose Jerome Baker.
Yeah.
You might have trouble re-signing Javon
Howard.
Holland. There's Xavier Howard's already he's already cut. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like there's lots of pieces on that defense that are tough and that are really, really good, but like, can you afford them?
Yeah.
Because the whole thing.
And also defensive ends, two of them coming back from ACLs. I mean, Chubb and Phillips.
Bad.
Yeah.
Bad. Well, Phillips is the Achilles.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
brutal.
Yeah,
Because and he's probably facing a $20 million a year payday this offseason if he finishes the year healthy.
Good thing about him, he's young.
Yeah.
Chubb's been around for a while. But I think the Dolphins are taking a little bit more heat on defense than offense. Offensively, I think they'll be okay.
Yeah.
They'll score their points. Two will be the same thing. Drop back 2 yards pass. But defensively, they're taking a hit. But I also think the division's taking a hit, too. The Patriots are not going to be good. They're just not.
No.
I don't know about the Jets. You don't know Rodgers, such a wild card. And Buffalo. I think Buffalo will be good again. But, I mean, with all these moves, you don't know how to do it.
Yeah. Well,
maybe not.
Yeah, I would lean towards maybe not, just because I feel like safety is going to be easy for them to figure out, and they're a good drafting team. I feel like they'll figure that out too. They're going to get Matt Milano back healthy. They open up a ton of cap space. Von Miller renegotiated his deal. Like I think Buffalo's going to be okay. Well, the guys they cut loose. Look, Trey White is a phenomenal player on paper, but he hasn't really made an impact in almost 3 years. Like that's just the reality of it. Like the ACLs, the Achilles, like that stuff. That stuff saps a player's explosiveness, and when you have that price tag, but you're not going to deliver the same product, it's tough to justify. And they did it. They did it for a year, and he couldn't stay healthy last year, so now it's time to cut bait. And the safeties are replaceable. They'll figure it out. You got Taylor Rapp as one starter. You're going to have to figure out who's going to come in for Micah. But again, Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, good players, paid like great players. And you can find that production for a cheaper price.
Yeah,
You
for
just can't.
Miami, their thing is they got to win the division. So this is probably their best shot, I think, in a couple of years, even better than last year, because I think Buffalo was a little bit stronger last year. They got to fill some holes, but I think Miami's got to go into it, but they got to fix their defensive holes.
They do.
That's a problem.
And number one, though, they need to bring back Christian Wilkins. Like, they can't lose that guy.
Oh, they are.
That's the crux of the defense right there.
Well,
His
they're letting him go.
interior penetration, his ability to disrupt plays from the inside. Like, that's not common in the NFL.
No.
And those guys get paid. So I'd be shocked if they don't do something last minute to bring him back into the fold. I really will.
Maybe before Thursday. 877-927-6969. Great college hoops today. If you're into college hoops, North Carolina, Duke, Houston and Kansas at 4 o'clock. Texas, Oklahoma, Arizona, USC. Teddy already told you Arizona. Today, if you're betting on your Hard Rock app, look at all these things. Some of these teams have already clinched. UConn playing Providence, but UConn clinched already. So that's a team that you look at and say, you know what, they already won the conference. They might not really care about playing tonight or not play their starters the whole time. Teddy did like Florida State, Miami over, and BYU to beat Oklahoma State. And then next week are the tournaments. for the conferences. And then after that, on the 17th, which is also St. Patrick's Day and Jimmy's birthday. Let's not forget that. Those are the most important things. You'll have Selection Sunday, and that's when it'll really kick in the following week when everybody's going to be picking your games and going crazy. But college hoops today, Carolina Duke, 6:30, always a good game when these two meet. First time around, Carolina spanked them and beat. And the men's basketball this year took a backseat to women's. Really is. Clark is getting all the headlines. If you ask somebody down the street who's the big player in college basketball, they're not going to know. They really won't, but they will do in women's basketball because it is Caitlin Clark who has just crushed every record and surpassed Steph Curry yesterday for 3-pointers, and she has all-time points, which is crazy that she keeps doing it. It's like every night.
3 years.
Oh, yeah. And she's going to win her third in a row Player of the Year for the women's division. So, I mean, it's going to be unbelievable. But will Iowa, like everything else, they always measure everything on championships. Will they be able to go and do it?
As Jay Williams said, he can't consider her great because she hasn't won a championship yet. I was like, okay, Jay.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Okay, Jay. Yeah. She's a great player. They
She's
might
a great
not
player.
Yeah. And South Carolina women's basketball has not lost in 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that is an unbelievable team if you watch them. And they got 3 or 4 people. And the last time I checked in anything, 4-on-1 usually goes the other way.
Yeah.
I mean, Iowa, Iowa's good. They got a good team, but she's the team.
Yeah.
I mean, she has one bad night shooting or off a little.
That's it.
They're done. Yeah. South Carolina is a strong team. Stanford's also good. Women's basketball. They're another team. Notre Dame's got a good team. USC's got a great freshman. LSU. I mean, they're out there, the teams. But it's good for women's basketball because, like I said, last week we talked about it. The Iowa game got better ratings than the Warriors and Celtics, which blew me out. I couldn't believe that. But again, it was a blowout, but still. I mean, that team, they did 4 million people to watch the game.
Yeah.
For college basketball for women, that's
insane.
Yeah, it is really one of those things you look, you say, wow. Florida Panthers still playing well. A lot of my friends are going to the game today, 4 o'clock. They were taking on Calgary Flames. They had a big trade this week, which was awesome. They are in first place, so let's go Panthers. I think this is the year they win the Cup. Not because I got them 9-1, but because I got them 9-1.
And if you want to listen to that game, you can hear it right here on Real Radio. We have pregame starting at 3:30.
Oh, really? Today?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yep.
And also the Gambler will have it?
No.
Oh, just
that's
us?
why we have it. Yeah.
All right, good. Check it out today, Real Radio. Listen to the Florida Panthers. Peyton Manning wants Belichick to jump into Omaha Productions, Joe. Peyton Manning thinks Belichick's going to be a star. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Peyton's probably right, honestly. Yeah. I really do. I don't know, man. I'm intrigued to see what Belichick does in the next, phase of his career, whether he just like hangs around and, does little media things here and there while looking for a new coaching job, or if he just like dives into something and, not necessarily becomes an analyst, but maybe, starts working for the 4-letter network or one of these places, or maybe teams up with Peyton, because like what Peyton's saying, man, Peyton's awesome.
Yeah.
He's entertaining. He's funny.
Well, it's his production company. They own the Peyton Place.
Yeah.
All those things that they do. He also has the thing to do with Monday Night Football. They produce his company. He wants to get him and Saban together. Belichick, 75-1 offshore to be a host at Hooters in Boca.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Offshore?
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta get on that.
75-1 to be a host at the Hooters in Boca.
I would love to see some sort of sit-down podcast type deal with Peyton, Belichick, and Eli, and just have Peyton poke Belichick about being, 0-2 to Eli in the Super Bowl to see how that all works out,
Yeah. And then Eli opens up with his rap. My name's Eli Manning, and I'm nice. Tom Brady's the GOAT, and I beat him twice. Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, again, Revis this week, more and more players talking about Brady, about things in his career now that it's finished, and talked about Brady at Super Bowl when they ended up beating the Colts and Deflategate, how bad he was, broke down in front of the team that he said he would never, ever try to jeopardize any of his players or your organization for any kind of lean. The only thing with Brady with that thing, and I don't know if we can confirm it, but I do remember us talking about Jimmy and myself and Johnny, was that they said that Brady smashed his phone. I don't know if that's ever true.
That was after the fact, though.
Yeah, of course.
Allegedly.
Yeah, because allegedly, yeah. But of course they're going to go to his phone. That's the only thing that always stuck in my head. Like, why would you smash your phone?
Okay, so here's the only thing that I can even remotely say from this, and I have no clue. This is just like my guessing, okay? I think Tom Brady probably has a ton of personal stuff on there. And that's a wide variety of personal stuff. There can be financial information on there. There could be family information on there. There could be pictures of loved ones on there. There can be 1,000,001 things. And if I'm Tom Brady, I don't want that stuff in the hands of not just the NFL. Who knows if there's, some, dipstick intern that gets his hands on it for 5 seconds and then all of a sudden TMZ gets a whole bunch of something or other.
He could have said to them, you know what, because they obviously it was with the trainer.
Yeah.
One of the kids who worked for the Patriots, who also, and again, I'm Team Brady, but I'm just saying that was also the kid who got fired.
Yeah.
I'm saying so they could have just if they look at me and Jimmy's phone, they'll see all work stuff. You know what I mean? So if they just check, I don't think they had the right to check his phone, all his things.
Yeah.
Just that with the kid who got fired. That was it. They didn't have the okay to go through his whole phone. That's the two different things.
Well, wouldn't he have to turn his phone over though? That's my whole thing. If you're turning your phone over, they're gonna look at whatever the hell they want to look at.
I know, but you need a subpoena. He would have just gave him rights if he did anything to get. They check my phone. I'm checking it, and they say Jimmy. They're gonna see all my texts with Jimmy.
Yeah.
It's all work. That's it, and a couple funny things. They're not going to check your number and everything like that. So that I can see Brady saying not wanting to turn over his phone.
Yeah, but how do you know? Are you standing over their shoulder while they're doing everything?
No, you could be. That could be part of it.
That's my whole thing. It's if I have a lot of sensitive stuff on there, maybe I don't trust it.
I wouldn't trust that with anybody, but I'm saying when you do that for a lot of people, again,
it makes it look like you're hiding something.
The image of it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Somehow, how did that get out? Too?
It got out that he smashed. I don't know if it's true or not. That got out. That we talked about,
and that's part of it, right?
Yeah.
So, did it really even happen?
Yeah, I
don't know.
Probably not.
It certainly seems like it. I mean, the word went out there pretty heavy on it that it happened, and of course, once somebody gets that in their mind, it's hard to undo that, right?
For sure.
And the other thing that led me, was not a good pass, is that they fired the kid.
Yeah.
He was just a regular guy working for the Patriots. He got fired. If he didn't do anything wrong, again, you're just taking things when you hear a story in your mind.
Well, yeah.
Why would somebody get fired if they didn't do anything wrong? But anyway, it was just Revis talking about Brady, how upset he was, and how, the Super Bowl was very difficult for him. Well, I don't know if there was anything done or not. Who knows? They smashed the Colts. I had them big, so I don't care. But I'm just saying, it's just one of those scenarios.
Yeah.
But it's just your opinion. We all have opinions when you hear something. Anytime somebody wants to check something and you say no, it could be.
Why don't you want me to check it?
Yeah, it could
That's
be.
the
Hey,
first
it's my
place I
business.
go.
It is. It's an instinctive reaction, of course.
Of course,
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah.
If somebody said to me right now, I want to grab your phone, go through it, I'd be like, go ahead. There is absolutely nothing on there. There really isn't. There's maybe 95% of people asking me for favors.
Yeah. I would say
not
96, but that's fine. You
I'm
can
not
go
lying.
95.
But when you think you have something, and then it's the other thing that people feel strong about is say it's my privacy.
Yeah.
You don't have a right to ask me, and people are strong with that. So I'm not taking that away. I'm just saying when it came up, and I remember when it came up, and you can see Brady. I remember the press conference like it was yesterday. He was physically upset about it. And again, I don't think he did anything wrong, but I just think certain things. And the other thing that, I don't think that kid should have been the scapegoat for the Patriots.
Well, here's the deal, though, okay? So the kid got fired, right? What did we hear about that? Did he sue? Did he do anything? Did he whatever? Was it like a whole big thing? Or do you think they just fired him, slipped him some cash, and you're our fall guy, get the hell out of here?
We'll never know, A. And B, I don't know the state law because in Florida, you could get fired for anything.
Yeah.
So they don't have to have any justification.
No, I know. I'm just saying, I feel like if it's the type of thing where this kid did nothing wrong and they made him the scapegoat and they fired him and ruined him, so he took all the blame, I feel like if that kid got screwed, you would have heard about it. And he would have pressed charges in some capacity, or he would have gone to the press
But
about
if I
something.
didn't do anything wrong and I own the team,
Yeah.
I'm not firing this kid because he didn't do anything wrong either.
But that's the thing, though. If he got fired for absolutely no reason and they were just pinning it all on him, I feel like that would have come back and blown up in their face because he would have pressed charges. He would have sued. He would have gone to the media and be like, hey, this is what happened. They're pinning it on me, yada, yada, yada. You know?
Maybe
Well, no, that's what I said. That's what I said. They fired him. They, they gave him cash,
Jeff,
and they said, "You're going to take this fall. This is what we're going to do."
Yeah,
and that's perfectly plausible.
We'll
I get
never
that.
do. But again, to me, even the franchise should have never did that because the kid was a regular kid, a young cat who just loved working for the Patriots. Why am I gonna? If I'm Robert Kraft, I'm not firing the kid because to me, that's also omissions of them were wrong.
It certainly makes it look that way.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it is, like you said, but it does look like, hey, why is he getting let go?
Well, the thing is, like, they caught the kid on video. Like, he was supposed to go down the hallway and go out to the whatever, and he ducked in a closet for like 60 seconds or whatever it was, and that was the whole thing, okay? I could see him getting fired because, hey, why did you go into that closet? We're under this whole, like, hellstorm from the media because of you ducking into the closet. What were you doing there?
Mm-hmm.
Walk down the hall, take the balls where they need to be. We have this whole controversy now, and you're at the center of it because you did this. So, yeah, you're fired. Why did you do that? You've made us look way worse than we actually are supposed to look.
Yeah.
Or they did something wrong.
Now
he did it on purpose, and they're paying him off and just like, hey, it happened.
Now, the reality of the whole situation is that once all was said and done, the science showed that the reason why the balls were that way was the temperature, and B, Indianapolis's balls were the same.
Yes.
Right? So that should have been the end of it, but people don't look at that. They want to look at the controversy.
Yeah, they see the big headlines.
Especially with it being the Patriots.
Yes.
Right? I mean,
of course.
You know,
I mean, it's like with this year with the kid with Michigan when he got fired. But that was blatant.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a rule. You can't do that. I mean, he gets fired.
Yes, and there was a whole system set up.
Yeah,
so it's like,
it's a different thing. But to me, it was just something that came out. Like I said, a lot more stuff's coming out with Brady. How Belichick played him to be just like everybody else and beat him up in film sessions. Bad.
Is honestly the craziest thing in that whole relationship, and like the most awesome aspect of Tom Brady for me is when people would talk about the fact that Bill would absolutely tear him apart and he would just sit there and take it. Like if you're a defensive back and Belichick calls you out in film, like how can you get mad if he does the same thing to Brady and Brady takes it?
Right.
Like you can't say boo if your lead dog
I see your point.
is like,
and that's smart.
There
should be no Jordan rules.
And it is leadership like out his ears.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. But again, when he was with the Giants and Parcells, LT had his own rules.
Exactly. And it's so funny because like he didn't extend that to Tom.
Yeah,
you know?
LT is the same as Brady to me. I'm sorry. They just are. I think LT would have been like,
oh, yeah.
I'm out.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm not doing it.
Yes.
I mean, LT's the guy who on a Sunday was playing golf and they had to call him and said, we got a game today. On a Sunday, he was playing golf in Jersey. He thought it was Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, I goes, all right, I'll be there. And he was late in the first quarter.
I'll be there an hour. I'm going to do a quick ski session, and then we'll be ready to go.
He made
right there.
I'm on the slopes. I'll be there at 10.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's the one thing that cracks me up with that. But, again, it's interesting stuff that we'll never know. But as a sports fan, it is intriguing. But Rivas said Brady was very upset, apologized to the team, and said he would never do anything wrong. And what Jimmy said is exactly right. It came out that it was the temperature and the balls were the same.
Well, the science side, that's the science side of it. And unfortunately, that's not going to get the headlines.
That's the most important side.
Well,
it's the science of it.
You would think.
Like, imagine being Tom Brady.
You would think.
Being as good as you are, work as hard as you work, and then people are like, oh, you didn't deserve that win. There was like 0.09, PSIs out of that football, cheater. Like, what?
And they blew him out.
Man. Yes.
And we blew him out.
Yes.
It is the Greek. It is Joe. It is Jimmy. It is the locker room on a Saturday. We'll come back, check FAU and some more hoops. Peace.
Real radio is the news junkie.
How young would you go?
Me? I don't know. Not.
What about 21?
I don't know. I really don't.
What if it was just a one-nighter?
I mean, that's fine. We're not talking.
The News Junkie, weekday afternoons at 3 on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7.
Hey, it's the Greek from Monroe's of Palm Beach, where all the beautiful ladies are, 7 days a week, open at 5 a.m. And Friday night, it's Fantasy Friday. Costume parties and live stage shows every Friday night. They bring your ultimate fantasy to life, featuring themed costume parties and live stage shows with gorgeous women from Monroe's, entertainers at the top of their game. It's Monroe's of Palm Beach. Get over there every day with a 5-star menu and beautiful ladies. And Friday night, it's Fantasy Fridays. Peace!
As a military dad, I'll admit my first deployment didn't go great for my kids. I wasn't ready. So every time I'm gone, I just focus on doing small things better. I schedule video calls during their dinner so we can still eat together. I read books they're reading so we can talk about them. I send them an email every day. It just takes a little effort. But it's worth it, guys.
Dads, duty matters in and out of uniform. So choose to be a father first, today.
This is the day of the big sale at your gift shop.
Welcome in.
So this isn't just a big day for your business. It's a big day for the network keeping it all connected. That is, if it can handle the pressure.
Next in line, please.
So is it possible to get business internet you can really count on? It is. With 99.9% network reliability from Comcast Business. It's like this neat little bow.
Do you like that gift wrap?
Really ties it all together. Reliable internet for your business. It's not just possible, it's happening. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with internet and security for $49 a month for 12 months with a 2-year contract when you add one unlimited mobile line. Plus, ask how to get an $800 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call or go online today to switch to Comcast Business. Ends 5/5/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 100 megabits per second internet and security edge. EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
International Diamond Center invites you to step into a world of elegance and luxury as we roll out the red carpet for the world's 2 largest bridal designers this weekend. Tacori and Verragio are here with their entire collections. Exceptional handcrafted rings made with intricate detail and craftsmanship. See the entire collection from Tacori. Exquisite handcrafted rings from true artisans in California. And here from New York, see all the latest from Verragio. Unique, distinctive, and personalized. Find the ring of your dreams and enjoy 2 years 0-interest financing. Plus, at this event, when you buy any Tacori or Verragio ring, IDC will give you a $500 gift card. Buy the matching wedding band and get a $1,000 gift card. Don't miss this spectacular event featuring the most exclusive designers in bridal, and let IDC's experts help you match up the most perfect diamond for the ring you'll fall in love with. It's happening this Friday through Sunday, exclusively at International Diamond Center, US 1 and PSL Boulevard, on approved credit.
My wife and I both, we ended up mildly sick for a few months, and the nasal congestion was probably the worst part. I had like a post-nasal drip, just super congested all the time. We were taking everything we possibly could, but nothing really worked.
Kyrie was miserable until a friend recommended Navage. Navage offers immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Don't live in misery this cold season. Use Navage so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
The biggest thing Navage has done has completely cleaned out my nasal passages. It was from the first use. I was able to just clear out anything that was stopping me from breathing correctly. Navage helps me clear the way, literally clear the way, for me to operate better in the rest of my life.
Experience the Navage difference yourself. Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E.
News Nation invites you to spend Sundays on the Hill.
I am Chris Direwalt, and we are joined by a superb panel today.
The Hill Sunday with Chris Direwalt takes you inside the halls of Washington.
Here's the thing.
The Hill Sunday with Chris Direwalt, Sundays at 10 a.m. Eastern on America's fastest growing cable news network, News Nation. You have a new home and a news network that respects all Americans. To find News Nation, go to joinnn.com.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Rizza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Injured in an accident? Visit Lytle Writers, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath at foryourrights.com.
This is 3-time Pro Bowler LeVar Arrington. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Staples Stores.
College basketball, the Hurricanes heading to Tallahassee to face off with Florida State tonight. Meanwhile, Tyron Lawrence and the Florida Gators visit Vanderbilt. The Gators looking to build off that win over number 14 Alabama last Tuesday. And the University of Washington is planning to part ways with their head basketball coach Mike Hopkins after the season. He has a 118-105 record in 7 seasons with the Huskies. I'm Frank Garrity.
Staples Print Big Sale means the more you print, the more you save. Get $20 off your print purchase of $100 or more, $50 off your print purchase of $200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of $300 or more. Offer ends 4/6. See staples.com/print for details. Print more, save more at Staples.
iHeart Podcast Update. This week on your free iHeartRadio app. Math and Magic. Stories from the frontiers of marketing with Bob Pittman, Season 6. Join iHeartMedia Chairman and CEO as he analyzes the math and magic of marketing, sitting down with today's most gifted disruptors. Marketing School, digital marketing and online marketing tips. Actionable digital marketing lessons learned through years of being in the trenches. Office Hours with Mike Stive. Mike sits down with the world's most important chief executives to answer your most pressing questions about leadership, career, and life. Hear these podcasts and more on your free iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's the Penthouse on Real Radio.
Yes, I am wearing my Beaver Patrol shirt that Sarah B. sent over.
Should I go get my beaver hat?
You should.
All
We
right,
should
I'll
be
be
on
right
the
back.
Beaver team together.
No, nice. Wow.
Look, if we're on Real TV, you can see it right here. There we go. Beaver Patrol.
Let
Yep.
me see Jimmy's hat.
Oh yeah, and now
Beaver.
Jimmy's
All right.
up. Now he's
I'm
rocking
back.
his.
I have my beaver hat on.
Yeah.
So the beaver hat is blue with the white, and the
Mhm.
T-shirt is black and the white.
They had all different options.
Oh, did they?
Yes, yeah. So I'm guessing Sarah didn't think that you would wear a Beaver Patrol shirt.
I would have.
Well, she asked. We asked you.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
yeah, and I said no. I don't want her to spend any money.
Oh,
I really didn't want her. But I could always use a Beaver Patrol or a shirt.
Yes.
I think it's a great icebreaker.
Uh-huh.
I had a girl last night said, "Greek, if I would let you take me out, where would you take me?"
All right. What'd you tell her?
Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh,
Nice.
Is that how old she was?
Oh, wow. Somebody walked into that one.
The Penthouse. Weekdays 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7. Real talk from the Palm Beaches and the Treasure Coast. This is Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7. Real talk for the Palm Beaches and the Treasure Coast. You're listening to The Locker Room. Now back to The Locker Room on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7.
The FAU Owls, hoot hoot, up by 10 over Memphis, 69-59. FAU Owls, can they do it again this year? Get into the tournament, make a big run. I don't know if they'll get to the Final Four, but we're rooting for them. Jimmy's in the house.
Hello and good afternoon.
And, of course, Joseph is here.
What's going on, boys?
If you guys want to get involved, it's 877-927-6969. That is the number to call into the locker room. Everything's on the board today. We're talking college hoops. We're also talking NBA. We are talking NFL free agency. Talked a little bit about Tyson and Paul. Is it a money grab? Most people think it is. Duke and North Carolina. Joe played today. One of the rivalries in sports that is great. What are a few other ones to you that are still alive in the NFL or NBA, baseball? But Duke and Carolina definitely smashing it.
Duke and Carolina's up there. You got, Yankees, Red Sox up there.
Do you think the Yankees and Red Sox still have it? It doesn't seem like they do.
Just because baseball's not what it used to be.
Yeah.
The rivalry's still there.
I don't know. They don't have the players like they once had. Like once the Jeter era ended and Ortiz.
Yeah.
Like Ortiz and Ramirez, man, Johnny Damon, and then Johnny Damon comes on the other. Like you hated them as a Yankee.
Yeah. Well, plus it was all the and it's a good thing to say this in a way, but I mean it was the respect given to Ortiz from the Yankees fans, and then the Red Sox fans given the respect to too, and it just
back and forth
kind of lost a little, right then and there.
Well, you lost the personalities. That's A.
Yeah.
And then the teams aren't as good as they once were.
Yes.
And then like when you add it, like when A-Rod came to the Yankees, it added another level of hate for Boston.
Yes.
Because Boston's like the blue collar, sweet
for
Carolina.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Carolina. And we were the brats. You know what I mean? We buy everything we can to win. You know what I mean? We're not for substance. We want to win now. And it was just so much good. Like I went to one Fenway game years ago, and man, it was brutal being a cool environment.
Yeah.
Didn't say a word.
Yeah.
Just watched
I was going to
the
say,
game.
do you wear any Yankee gear?
No way.
You can't.
No,
You can't.
Armani.
You're going to ruin. Yeah, you're going to ruin your afternoon.
Yeah, not doing it now. But Duke Carolina still has it for me in college basketball. No doubt about
man,
it.
tobacco
One of the
road.
best one. UCLA, USC in football a little bit. the Canes, they're not. You got to be good.
Yeah, I feel like Duke, North Carolina in basketball. I think Michigan, Ohio State in football.
Still. But both teams, but the thing is, both teams are still good.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
If
but
one team
the whole
sucks,
thing with the Yankees Red Sox, though, is I think the rivalry still is the rivalry in baseball. It's just baseball is so far on the back burner anymore. Like it's just like people.
But it was even 7-10 years ago. It was never number one.
No, but that's the, like I'm saying. Like I'm just talking in their particular like field.
Yeah,
who would we say is the biggest NFL rivalry now? Because like the classic ones, like they're all divisional, right?
I would say anybody in Dallas.
Yeah.
And then of course you've got Giants Philly. I think Giants Philly is still pretty because you're
Giants,
talking about
Phillies.
So close to one another.
Yeah.
And considering too, it's also one of the biggest market.
Yeah, I feel like Pittsburgh Baltimore is a really good one now, and because it's been so competitive in recent years.
Yeah, but it's good. But again, all the divisions ones are.
Yeah.
I see the one in football is because they played already twice. Well, the Niners and Chiefs.
And anytime, look, like Pittsburgh Baltimore was at its height when like they still had Roethlisberger.
Of course.
So it's like they were still like championship contenders. You know what I mean? So it's obviously there's always going to be more flavor behind it if they're two competitive contending teams.
Sure.
But like the rivalries are still there.
Yeah, but what you need on both sides is that there's stars, obviously, and the both teams are good.
Yeah.
Because one team crushes another team, there's no rivalry.
It almost feels like maybe Buffalo, Kansas City starting, a little bit between more Allen, Mahomes.
Yeah, I would say, Buffalo, Kansas City replaced, to me, the Colts and Patriots.
Yes. Oh, 200%.
Without
200%.
doubt, great one, Jimmy. That's the best one I would say right now in the AFC. No doubt about it, I would say it. And see, Dallas isn't sometimes because they don't win. You know what I mean?
Right. I say that because everybody hates Dallas.
Everybody
or
hates that.
you love them because you're a fan, right? That's the only reason why I
of course.
that,
but I'm saying like the rivalry where you look at it, Buffalo and Kansas City definitely in football.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure.
There's no doubt. Like the Warriors and the Cavs for 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
They were.
Yeah. Well, they met in the finals, 4 years in a row?
Yeah. So, you had that. Both good teams. You had LeBron. You had Steph. You had that. You didn't root for both. You either like Steph or you were on LeBron's side.
Yep.
Those are the ones that I like. Like growing up, you just hated the Red Sox.
Yeah.
I mean, that was it. There was even a thought process.
I'm with you on that. It doesn't feel like it's there anymore.
No, it's not.
Not quite as much.
And I think the other thing that hurts sports with people is that everybody's kumbaya.
Yeah, everybody's friends. Everybody knows each other.
Every year the rosters change and they're almost so interchangeable.
They're all
now
mercenaries, man.
It's hard because your favorite guy was on your team. Now he's on the rival team, and there used to be a time like you use A-Rod as an example, but it just doesn't feel that same way.
Well, no, I mean it changed.
Or they go to another team completely.
Well, I think what changes too as a fan, you see them after the game switching jerseys.
Yes.
Like you never saw that,
right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? Like
signing autographs in the away field, right?
Another thing with fans though is that fans carry the baggage of years and years of pain and anguish and all that emotional torment. Players don't they are clocking into work.
Yeah.
Like when I'm done, playing baseball for the Cardinals or football for the Bears or whatever it is, I clock out and I do the stuff that I love and I try to unwind. Fans don't ever clock out. They are reading about it during the week. They're like everything is leading towards that 3 hours on Sunday, all that stuff, right?
Yeah. I mean,
and when we don't see the players reciprocate that passion,
we get pissed.
We question them, but it's impossible.
Well, again, today Duke's playing 6:30.
Yeah.
Those kids have been there since 7 this morning.
Yeah.
All day.
Yep.
They're there.
Yep.
They're sleeping out. They're in the tents. They're so
ready
jacked.
to rumble.
Oh, yeah. They're standing
They're
until
like,
the first
is it 11
basket.
a.m. yet so I can start drinking?
Yeah, of course.
Now, here's the next question with that. As far as college is concerned, what happens now with NIL? And these kids are moving. You have made it both a very good point that some of these kids are going to be playing for 4 different teams.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Or 3.
And I don't blame them.
I don't think
because if you're getting paid.
Yeah, I don't think it's as big as college because, again, like Michigan, Ohio State, it changes every 4 years.
Yeah.
It's a rivalry.
But
Alabama, Auburn.
It's where it falls back more with the fans keeping it alive.
Of course, an alumni.
Right.
Yeah, because you go there, you're
Florida,
a fan for 40 years.
Florida, Georgia.
Of course.
It's always going to, Florida, Tennessee. I know those are, big ones, obviously.
I
in the
feel
SEC.
like college, though, still, I want to, I don't want to say breeds, but it still just, instills those rivalries in the kids. Like, when you're on campus and you're just, you can't not buy into those rivalry things. I just don't think at the professional level it matters outside of fan
but
groups.
even like you go back to the 60s
Yeah.
with Georgia playing Florida. It was a big game.
Yeah.
The Gator Bowl.
It almost feels like that stuff stays for life, too,
Yeah, of
because
course.
these guys, like,
200%.
Brady is still a Michigan guy, right? He's still going to have that rivalry with Ohio State, even
Yeah.
though here he is, retired.
Look at all the former Hurricanes that talk about the U, and it's just like it's a fraternity.
Yeah, it's
like
love.
it's nonstop.
Peyton in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Jimmy, who do we have?
We have our good friend Greg Rice checking in with the locker room. What's going on, Greg?
What's up, Greg?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Awesome.
Pretty good.
What's your dream? Yeah, Joe.
Hey, what's up, Greg?
Yeah, do you know why there's so many sibling rivalries in Cleveland?
It's layup.
Why is that, Greg?
Yeah, because the sister always wins it. Who's got the biggest penis contest?
Wow.
He loves you. You have made it on Real Radio.
Yeah.
That was aggressive.
You know it's bad when they lay off Greek and they moved on.
You've made it. That is an accomplishment. Yeah, rivalries in sports. If you guys got any, you want to call us 877-927-6969. College basketball, Duke, North Carolina is number one. The Big East teams, yeah, but that's the one that I think gets everybody's goat on both sides. Tonight you're going to get to see that at 6:30. The NBA, like I said, it was Cleveland, and it was obviously the Warriors for a few years going back and forth at each other. Boston and Philly, when I was growing up in the NBA, the Knicks were never that good. You know what I mean? The Knicks were good in the 90s, but never to the level of that where you're going back and forth. You're always going to have like the Dolphins and Jets. That's a great one.
Yeah.
But division ones in the playoff, the regular season, are always going to be there. You're going to play the same team every year, so you're going to have that hatred or dislike, and the fans are going to do it. Obviously, Texas, Oklahoma in college football. Another big one.
There's a great one.
Big one. Michigan, Ohio State, huge. And it's so much. See, the thing with Michigan, Ohio State, it always made it a little bit better, was that they would play at the end of the year, and they would always be like 10-1 or 11-0.
Yeah.
So there was so much juice on it. The winner goes to the Rose Bowl, and it was like, wow.
And that one, though, is like rooted in hatred.
Of course.
It's just like the way that, Woody Hayes wouldn't even say Michigan. He'd call him the school up north.
Yeah.
And he's got my favorite quote in the history of quotes for sports. There was a game they blew out Michigan, scored a late touchdown, and wound up going for 2. And it's like it's already a blowout. Like, kick your extra point and move on or whatever. And they asked him after the game, Woody, like, the game was well in hand. Why did you go for 2? And without hesitation, he says, because I couldn't go for 3.
Oh, yeah.
That is a gangster quote right there.
That is.
Like,
that
that's drop the mic and you're done.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I got to get that.
that's a good one, dude.
I think it just moved because that's great.
Yeah, dude.
Well, Spurrier, same way.
Oh, yeah.
They used to blow out teams and said, hey, last time I looked, we played 60 minutes.
Yep.
So if I score with a minute left, it's still part of the game.
Yep.
So everybody is. Jimmy Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing. Jimmy Johnson say when the Canes blew out teams, they got mad.
Yeah.
But
Stop us.
Yeah.
You don't like it? Stop us.
Saban, Alabama.
Oh, yeah. Same thing.
Keep
Blown
going.
out.
Keep pushing.
Yeah. See, society, a lot of the media always like Notre Dame. So when the Canes blew out Notre Dame that time, they got on Jimmy Johnson. But Jimmy Johnson's like, I had third stringers in. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Tell the kids not to play.
Yeah, what's they call that? The convicts and the Catholics and the convicts. I always thought that was a funny saying, too.
Yeah, man. You couldn't have that headline today, dude.
No.
No way.
No, that was a 30 for 30. I would suggest you watch it. It was the Catholics versus the convict, but it was more about the kid who did the T-shirts.
Yeah.
He came up with that one night, and he was doing illegal T-shirts. Couldn't happen today.
Yeah.
And he was selling them, and he sold so many. And then Notre Dame and obviously the Canes were both undefeated.
Yeah.
Our good friend who did the show for a while with us, good guy Cleveland Gary, fumbled that ball, but was it a fumble? We'll never know. And that was the thing, when it was undefeated. And it was a great game. Great 30 for 30 if you like sports. Catholics versus convicts, unbelievable. Like Joe said, that would never happen today. No way. But those T-shirts sold like forget it. People still have them today, and like they're worth money if you saw them. But it was the Canes who were like, the rough kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Kids from the streets. The hard times against Notre Dame, the Brats, and the whole thing. And also the coaches. Yeah, Jimmy and what's the coach from Notre Dame? Oh God.
Well, it wasn't Holtz.
Yeah, Holtz.
Was it Holtz?
Yeah, it wasn't Holtz. Yeah, so definitely Holtz. Two different spectrums of guys. Jimmy Johnson's hair didn't move. Holtz had the pants cuffed up. I mean, the two
And
teams.
Holtz has one of the all-time wacky voices in sports.
Yeah, he does. Good coach.
Great coach.
Good coach. He did great at Arkansas. Didn't do good with the Jets, but did good with Notre Dame, obviously. But again, that was a big rivalry. Notre Dame and the Canes for a couple of years. The Canes and Gators. Yeah. It doesn't happen a lot, but Florida State and the Gators for years. I mean, those guys, great games. Georgia, Florida. But I would say football, Texas, Oklahoma. And I would say Ohio State, Michigan. No doubt about it. And down here, like the Canes haven't been good the last couple of years, but I would say when the Gators are playing, Florida State.
Yeah.
Or
Florida,
like Jimmy
Florida
said,
State,
Georgia.
Florida State, Miami's a good one. Florida, Georgia's a good one.
Yeah, they don't play as much. Again, and Alabama against Auburn will always go down. You're going to lose, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like UCLA was a great one. That's done. Because now they're in the Big Ten. So they're not, it's not going to have the same juice it once had. But Ohio State, Michigan, probably the best one because, like I said, they're both usually 10-1, 11-0. And when you punch the ticket, you end up going there. And that's going to change, too, a little luster this year because, there's 12 teams.
There's so many. There's a lot of big dogs in that Big Ten, man.
Yeah. But I'm saying, and again, at the end of the year, even if somebody loses, they'll probably still make the playoff at 11-1 or 12, whatever the case may be. I mean, that's just what it was because there's so much weight on the one game that it changed the balances. Yeah, I do remember that. Woody Hayes reading that where he said the team up north, he would never look at Michigan. Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. But I think that adds to it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That makes people like, you know what, we hate them, they hate us, and that's fine. Let's go. You need that. You always need an opponent in anything in life because it drives you. Like we
makes you better.
It talks about Belichick. Belichick used to say, like, you know what? The way he did the Jetta mind games with Brady. But Brady got more pissed. And sometimes when you show somebody you're better or you want to succeed, it could be at your job where management or bosses don't think you're good. You just keep sticking it in their face. Yeah. But actually, they're making the money.
Yeah.
Who's sticking it in whose face? But like Brady with Belichick, that was that game he said. And, they said it. He used to get Brady pissed and Brady come out there and, rip it up. But obviously, Brady had his own initiative and always wanted to play, and he was at such a high level.
Yeah, but Edelman talks about all the time, like angry Tom Brady is the most dangerous Tom Brady.
LeBron, that Jordan.
Yeah.
I mean, Jordan, come on. There was a game with Jordan. He was a kid on the Washington Wizards, had a big game, and he's like 27 points. And he went up to Jordan after the game, and he said, "Nice game, Mike." It was in the last dance.
Yeah.
They played Washington the next night.
They killed him.
He killed him. He goes, "I'm going to have 35 in the first half," and he did. I mean, and all the kid did was walk past him and say, "Nice game, Mike." And he was like, "How dare you say that to me?" And scored like 50, and they trounced him. Yeah, when anybody gets mad, you're seeing their best a lot of times. Some people can't control it. Their emotions overtake their ability, obviously. But certain players like the Jordans and them, Brady, they're better.
Yeah.
They're angry. LeBron. I mean, I don't want to stop LeBron coming down the lane at me like a freight train after I just said something to him. Like, why do you switch teams so much, LeBron? You know what I mean? And you're there taking the charge, you're going to end up with row 35. Talking about sports betting last night. These are one of the lessons why you don't sports bet. The Lakers are playing the Bucks. LeBron's not playing. Russell scores 41. Outscores the Bucks in the fourth quarter. The Lakers shoot terrible as a team, but Russell, all he's doing is hitting threes and looking at the crowd, and they beat the Bucks. Oh, my God. That goes out to my buddy who's listening to the show. I know he had the Bucks last night, and I've said it. I taught Jimmy this. When somebody says they can't lose, you have to have the stones right there to drive to the Hard Rock or go on your app or bet the other way. Because this is last night, 10 o'clock, and he goes, I had the Bucks. LeBron's not playing. Lakers, they're okay. He goes, and the Bucks just lost?
Yeah.
He goes, they ain't losing again tonight.
No way.
Every time.
Every time.
If not every time, 8 out of 10. And you would think that LeBron's out, averages 20-something a game. And Russell comes off and plays because he's usually a third, scores 41.
Yep.
41. The Lakers and the team in the fourth quarter shot. I got all these text messages. That's how I know him.
The angry text messages.
The Lakers shot 1 for 13 as a team. Russell on fire. Scored 21 in the fourth quarter. Writes, this isn't fair. I mean, it just happens when you hear that. How many times we've seen field goal guys line up? He hasn't missed a field goal in 18 times.
Kiss of death.
Every time.
Yep.
You know what? They've scored the last 9 times they're in the red zone. Boing. I mean,
Doink.
Yep. Or a pick 6. It happens. And you say, there's no way that this can be true. Because you're like, there's no way. Like people who wear their rally caps or their favorite, they got to sit in that seat. And you got to believe certain socks. Like, it's like, no way could this mean anything. But they buy into it that it affects the game. You're sitting in your basement in Secaucus, New Jersey, and you got your Lawrence Taylor jersey on that you believe is going to put some whammo jammo on the game today in 2024. That's a sports fan.
That's it. That'll put the Malouk on Dallas.
That's right. Nope. That's a sports fan who not only does it, but believes it. Believes it.
Yeah.
I mean, and wholeheartedly. Like religion. Like you tell, it doesn't matter. Oh, no. You know, I have my rally cap on. Like, get the...
That's my fault. I wore the wrong shirt.
Oh, yeah. It is the Greek Joe and Jimmy. It is the locker room on a Saturday. We'll look over some college hoop scores. Big games today, Carolina and Duke, Houston and Kansas, and so much more when we return. Peace.
Introducing the latest way to hear the greatest station in the world. Tell your smart device to play Real Radio 92.1 on iHeartRadio.
For more information about contests on the station, visit realradio921.com/rules.
Real Radio weather.
What Would Greek Do is brought to you by Monroe's of Palm Beach.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Hey, it's the Greek for Jason Weiser, my attorney. Whether you were injured due to a car accident or a medical malpractice issue, a slip and fall, or any kind of injury due to a fault of another, their team can help you. Board-certified personal injury attorneys. They can help you determine the responsibility party and pursue the damages and justice you deserve. Contact them at 561-689-8180, 561-689-8180. No fees unless they win. Jason Weiser, my attorney for over 20 years.
My best dad tip, okay, one time our power went out and we couldn't watch TV or play video games or whatever, but we still had the best time pulling out flashlights and building a fort in their room, telling stories. So last week, I just turned off the main breaker and yelled, "Power's out!" I mean, why wait for a storm? Just make the fun part happen yourself. I mean, you can do it tonight.
Dads, try this idea or try something else. Just choose to be a father first today.
International Diamond Center invites you to step into a world of elegance and luxury as we roll out the red carpet for the world's 2 largest bridal designers this weekend. Tacori and Verragio are here with their entire collections. Exceptional handcrafted rings made with intricate detail and craftsmanship. See the entire collection from Tacori. Exquisite handcrafted rings from true artisans in California. And here from New York, see all the latest from Verragio. Unique, distinctive, and personalized. Find the ring of your dreams and enjoy 2 years 0-interest financing. Plus, at this event, when you buy any Tacori or Verragio ring, IDC will give you a $500 gift card. Buy the matching wedding band and get a $1,000 gift card. Don't miss this spectacular event featuring the most exclusive designers in bridal, and let IDC's experts help you match up the most perfect diamond for the ring you'll fall in love with. It's happening this Friday through Sunday, exclusively at International Diamond Center, US 1 and PSL Boulevard, on approved credit.
News Nation invites you to spend Sundays on the Hill.
I am Chris Stirewalt, and we are joined by a superb panel today.
The Hill Sunday with Chris Stirewalt takes you inside the halls of Washington.
Here's the thing.
The Hill Sunday with Chris Starwell. Sundays at 10 a.m. Eastern on America's fastest growing cable news network, News Nation. You have a new home and a news network that respects all Americans. To find News Nation, go to joinnn.com.
This is the day of the big sale at your gift shop.
Welcome in.
So this isn't just a big day for your business. It's a big day for the network keeping it all connected. That is, if it can handle the pressure.
Next in line, please.
So is it possible to get business internet you can really count on? It is. With 99.9% network reliability from Comcast Business. It's like this neat little bow.
Do you like that gift wrap?
Really ties it all together. Reliable internet for your business. It's not just possible. It's happening. Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Get started with internet and security for $49 a month for 12 months with a 2-year contract when you add one unlimited mobile line. Plus, ask how to get an $800 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call or go online today to switch to Comcast Business. Ends 5/5/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 100 megabits per second internet and security edge. Eco bill and auto pay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
This is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. If you're a dad who is facing divorce, there are extra layers of stress that may include stereotypes and assumptions. No 2 situations are the same. Our legal experience and dedication prepare us for whatever legal challenges we face together. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has represented men in divorce.
Offices in Miami-Dade County and Fort Lauderdale. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's attorneys. Se habla español. Legal services available in English and Spanish. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Scott Trout, licensed in Missouri, Illinois, and Georgia only. CordellCordell.com.
This is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. If you're a dad who is facing divorce, there are extra layers of stress that may include stereotypes and assumptions. No 2 situations are the same. Our legal experience and dedication prepare us for whatever legal challenges we face together. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has represented men in divorce.
Offices in Miami-Dade County and Fort Lauderdale. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's attorneys. Se habla español. Legal services available in English and Spanish. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Scott Trout, licensed in Missouri, Illinois, and Georgia only. CordellCordell.com.
From the Gordon Partners Weather Center, have you or a loved one been injured through no fault of your own? Call 561-333-3333 or go to fortheinjured.com.
iHeart Podcast Update. This week on your free iHeartRadio app. Math and Magic. Stories from the frontiers of marketing with Bob Pittman, Season 6. Join iHeartMedia Chairman and CEO as he analyzes the math and magic of marketing, sitting down with today's most gifted disruptors. Marketing School, digital marketing and online marketing tips. Actionable digital marketing lessons learned through years of being in the trenches. Office Hours with Mike Stibe. Mike sits down with the world's most important chief executives to answer your most pressing questions about leadership, career, and life. Hear these podcasts and more on your free iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Love podcasts? Pull out your phone right now, open the free iHeartRadio app, and check out these podcasts. History on Trial.
Only 30 minutes to put her body in the well.
Dateline NBC.
The first big clue in the mystery.
Mission Implausible.
The means to keep down what was then called the Third World.
Listen today on the iHeartRadio app. More than just the best radio, it's your favorite podcasts too. And best of all, it's absolutely free. iHeartRadio.
I'm CBS 12 meteorologist Charlotte Carl. Still warming up today. Highs expected to reach the mid to upper 80s. Warmest areas will be inland. Moderate risk of rip currents, high UV index, so be sure if you're headed out to the beach to apply your sunscreen and drink your water. Thunderstorms to arrive tomorrow morning with that cold front that will bring us nice cool temperatures to start off your work week.
This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
To thank you for 40 unforgettable years, Dell Technologies is celebrating with anniversary savings on their most popular tech. Save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors and more. Save now at Dell.com/deals.
Join us Monday night for our 2024 iHeart Podcast Awards, presented by The Hartford, live at South by Southwest. We'll honor the very best in podcasting from the past year and celebrate the most innovative talent and creators in the industry. Watch Monday night, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific on iHeartRadio's YouTube channel.
Presented by The Hartford Small Business Insurance. Learn more or start a quote at thehartford.com/small business. With insurance designed for your small business, the Bucks got your back.
From the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
Have you been in an accident? Call Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Real Radio 92.1 is WZZR West Palm Beach, an iHeartRadio station.
Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. You're listening to The Locker Room.
Fredo, you're my older brother, and I love you. But don't ever take sides with anyone against the family again. Ever.
Now back to The Locker Room on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7.
Some things don't have to be added on. There it is, Joseph. You don't take sides against the family, ever. Even if it is Mo Green. Jimmy's in the house.
Hello and good afternoon.
Joe is here.
What's going on, boys?
Boca Raton. Big news tonight, baby. Don't try to get Botox because it's going to be at a premium. FAU is beating Memphis 92-84 with 4 seconds left. So Botox will be up in price if you're trying to get on Glades Rose this afternoon. Go Owls. Hoot, hoot. 24-7. And I think they will make the big dance. Now they have their conference tournament they'll get involved in, and then who knows what's going to happen. Can they make another run to the Final Four? I don't think so. Not this year, but good team, and had the pleasure sitting with a couple of those kids when I was down at the Dolphin game. Really nice guys and great people. So hats off to the program, what he's done the last couple of years. People know who FAU is right now in basketball because of this program. Again, winning 92-84. Duke and Carolina today, big game at 6:30. In the Duke Arena. The Dukies will be there. Those kids are probably there since 6 o'clock this morning going crazy. Kansas and Houston later on. It's going to be another big game. Tennessee and Kentucky. Get out the calculator. That's going to be a high-scoring game in that game, and you're going to add it up. NBA tonight, we have our Heat, who ended up losing last night. They are home tomorrow against the Wizards. Again, when they're home, they usually don't cover. When they're on the road, they do. Boston and Phoenix tonight. Celtics dropped 2 in a row. They got to bounce back. They definitely got to bounce back. Joe, you know your Browns made a big trade, correct?
Yes, they did.
And who did they get again?
Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver from Denver, for the price of a 5th-round pick and a 6th-round pick this year, which the Browns have 2 5th-rounders and 2 6th-rounders, so they still have a pick in each round.
So you're a big Brown fan, we know for years. When was the last time you went to a Brown? Have you gone to the new stadium too?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Would you ever go back up there for another game?
Okay, so I'm not a big go-to-the-game guy.
Yeah, you've said
watch
it home.
Yeah, I like to watch it home. I like to see all the details. I like how everything's kind of – and it's almost like, you got to know your strengths, but you also have to know your weaknesses.
Yeah.
I'm a butterfly chaser, G. If I'm in a stadium, I'm looking for fights. I'm looking for chicks. It's like it's crazy, right?
Wow. I never heard that. Butterfly chaser.
Yeah.
That must be a big. It must be a big. You see, you get.
Well, I'm easily distracted.
Oh yeah. It's a butterfly chaser. I've never heard that one.
Well, it's like you're chasing butterflies.
How about chasing tail?
Chasing tail
the same
too.
thing, isn't
it's
it?
the same thing.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Right?
I was just trying to keep it clean. That's all.
Oh, well,
have you ever caught a butterfly with a net?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah. Please. When I was like younger. Oh, bro. I'm honestly, G. I'm like a ninja.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll snatch a bee out of midair. Just slam it down on the ground. I got no issue with it.
Quick
honestly.
hands.
Oh yeah. Quick hands.
Mm-hmm.
Quick hands, baby. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've caught.
I've caught fish with my bare hands before.
No kidding.
Not even a kidding.
Damn.
Yeah.
In the water or outside?
In the water. Yeah, outside. It was like laying on the side.
At Joseph's?
Yeah. No, in the water.
Seafood department.
Yeah.
I caught a salmon.
Going out on a boat and you see it like kind of whooping and it's like whatcha right in the water.
Nice.
Really? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
And it's a surprise. You're that quick with your hands, but you're not good at picking up tabs.
No.
How about that, huh?
It's
It's a
wildly like sad reach I have. It's I'm all forearms. I've got
dinosaur
no
arms.
reach. Oh yeah, yeah.
And
I make a T-Rex look like a What's up?
And of course, I'm kidding when I say that. It's a show.
Yeah.
But wow, you could catch fish in water, and you've caught a butterfly. I always thought if you caught a butterfly barehanded, it was bad luck.
Yeah.
Well, only if you
Did you ever hear that?
only if you snatch it and destroy the thing.
Well,
you kill it, right?
Yeah.
So what do you catch it, hold it, and let it go?
Yeah, you shake it, make it dizzy and let it go.
I mean,
watch you fly into a tree. What's worse, killing it or doing that?
Well,
That's
yeah.
like torture.
And what am I supposed to do with it? I don't know.
How about Cleveland? Did you guys have lightning bugs?
Yeah, we did. Lightning bugs are great.
I would assume that.
Yeah,
because they were big.
Yeah.
So you'd
No,
catch
lightning
them
bugs.
too?
Oh, hell yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Wow, you're pretty handy there. You're like a Daniel Blanken Boone.
Yes.
Daniel Boone.
I'll take Daniel Boone. I'll take that.
Wow.
I was more of a Davy Crockett guy, but I'll take Daniel
All
Boone.
right. Well,
Go with it.
where's the hat?
That's impressive.
Coonskin cap?
Nice.
I got you.
There we go.
That is
Really?
impressive.
All right.
I don't know if I'm putting my hands in seafood water.
Yeah. Hey.
Seafood water.
Whatever. Salt water.
Yeah, no, I like seafood water.
Oh, it is that, yeah.
Seafood water
Yes, you
works.
can call it seafood water. Never quite heard it.
It's where the seafood stays before we get it.
It's true.
It's
true.
We'll hear that on a drop.
Seafood water. You want me to get that?
Yeah.
211.
Yep.
Seafood water.
Seafood
Water.
water.
You got to pick it up. 877-927-6969. That is the number to call if you want to get involved inside the huddle. Hit a big 3 with us today. Again, FAU did beat Memphis. We were talking about big games tonight. There is a big one, Duke and North Carolina. What's a team, when you see two teams together, what's something you get jacked up for that you look? It could be any sport, basketball, baseball, football, hockey, Rangers, Jimmy, and
Devils.
Yeah.
I was just as right before.
Right?
It's amazing.
I mean, that was huge. I remember years ago when they won the Cup and they had to play the Devils. Remember, they were down 3-2, and Messi said, "We're going to come back. We'll win."
Yeah.
But yeah, that was Rangers-Devils was
Rangers have the Devils number.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost guaranteed. It feels anyway.
Yeah.
I think once I've seen the Devils beat the Rangers. Outside of that, it always seems like the Rangers have their number.
Well, Devils have many cups? 2 or 3? I think 3.
That's a good question. I have to look that up.
I think they have 3.
Is it 3 now?
I think.
All right.
Maybe I'm wrong.
All
I
right.
thought I would bet they have at least 2.
Yeah, I thought it was 2. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's another one that's pretty good. Dodgers years ago and the Reds, Dodgers and Giants in baseball, other ones. But in football, there's a lot of them. Like all the division ones, they're always there. Like the Packers and Vikings. You know what? There's a lot of them. But again, both teams have to be good.
Nice job, G.
Is it 3?
Yep, 3.
Yeah.
94, 95, 99, and 2002.
Yeah, I thought it was 3. Both teams got to be good for a rivalry to be, balanced and decent.
It always helps, right? I
Yeah.
mean, it feels that, another one, and you guys might have said it, and I was picking up the phone or something, Florida State, right?
Oh, yeah,
I
we
mean, there's
did.
an old one. Again, it doesn't feel like it because Florida's fallen off a little bit, right?
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's always better when both teams are great.
Yeah.
It just adds more to it.
Yeah.
There's more smack talking. Because if your team's not going to win, and going in, you're not going to talk as much because you know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's really not much to say. It's like when the Gators the last couple of years have played Georgia. Georgia always beats them up, and then at the end they'll pull away. And it's tough for a Gator fan to talk too much smack.
Yeah. Although you'd be surprised because Michigan fans did not get deterred by like a 20-year stretch where they were, the whipping boy in the
Diehards.
rivalry. Yeah.
Diehards
diehards never.
will always chatter.
But the thing with that was Michigan had 7 years, I think, that obviously Ohio State beat them with Meyer. But they would still go into every one 10-0, 10-1. So that's a little different. If you're 5-5,
if you're a bad team, you're a bad team.
That's my point. But they would always go into that game.
Yeah, for
with
sure.
that Urban Meyer had them 7 years in a row, whatever it was, 6 out of 8.
It was so Lloyd Carr had John Cooper's number in the 90s.
Yeah, he did.
And then when Jim Tressel came in for Cooper, it all shifted back to Ohio State. And Ohio State started that run. And then it continued through Urban. But as soon as Harbaugh got settled, that went bye-bye, man.
Yeah.
I am super happy he's a Charger. Let me tell you right now.
You're so funny. Like, you're excited about that.
Super excited.
Yeah, but like I said, you got to be. The difference is they would still be 9-2, 10-1 going to Ohio State. So every year you're
they had a little stretch like the Brady Hoke years and stuff like that where they hit like a little lull.
Mm-hmm.
Like before Harbaugh brought them back to where they are now.
Well, Brady,
definitely hit a skid.
Yeah, but Brady, they even his last year, senior year, they were good. They made the Orange Bowl.
No, I didn't say Brady Hoke.
Brady Hoke.
Yeah. Like there was a string of coaches. It was just it was almost disappointing to see because the rivalry was so good. Like I want to see a good Michigan team. Yeah. I want to beat a good Michigan team as an Ohio State guy.
I remember being at that Orange Bowl and Brady sitting in a box with these guys. And Brady came in, played for Michigan. They won the game at the end. I believe they beat Alabama, and I remember this guy saying, "And who the hell knows?" Yeah. But I still know him today, and I break his stones. He goes, "This kid sucks. He's never going to make it in the pros." I must have said to him, I thought it was Brady. He was too inconsistent.
Yeah,
because again, Brady didn't start. He was third string there too.
He was pick 199, man.
Yeah. But just unbelievable. But I remember being at the Orange Bowl, and this guy goes, he's not going to make it in the NFL. I don't even think he'll get drafted.
Well, at that point, too, Michigan was trying to replace him with Drew Henson. Drew Henson was the higher-rated guy, and Michigan was literally doing everything they could, but Brady would outperform him. He would just play better. He was just a better player. He's efficient, yada, yada, yada. And he didn't have the physical stature to go that high in the draft, and he fell to the 6th round, and that's it, man.
Well, what helped Brady was that Drew got that big money from the Yankees.
Yes.
Because if he didn't get the money from the Yankees, he would have focused more on being a quarterback at Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
And they said that took away.
Two-sport split, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's what ended up changing for him. And then Brady went in his senior year and had like a little winning streak, 3-4 games, and they did that. But he was, he was one of those kids that they always looked at him that, you know what, he's going to play baseball, he's going to play football.
Well, and like athletically, like Drew Henson was a freak. He was prototypical size. He could run. He could throw the ball a mile, all that stuff. And when you're talking about 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old prospects and how they project, Drew Henson's going to go to the front of the line over Tom Brady 20 times out of 20.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody knows the fact that Brady's going to go to a situation that will allow him to just completely dive into it, be a psycho competitively, and build himself up into the greatest player to ever lived.
Yeah,
it's wild. Sports are absolutely crazy.
I'll give you a trivia question right now.
Fire away.
For half a pretzel with mustard on it. And if you get it, I'll even throw in a lap dance. Babe Ruth's lifetime batting average.
Babe Ruth's?
It's in the 3s.
I would go low. Like, let's say 308.
342. Damn it, I love it.
Yeah. I do like the fact that 4 times 2 is 8, though. So I'll take a little bit of a...
Babe Ruth, think of Paul Warfield.
Yeah.
He hit over 300. Paul Warfield was with the Dolphins. His number was 42. That'll do it for you.
Look at you.
I said, somebody did that to me the other night, and I hesitated because I don't like to do it to people right away because they're so jacked up. And I'm like...
Who did the Dolphins trade to get Paul Warfield?
Oh, my God. You're going back to the late 60s. Well, they traded. He was on the Browns. That I know, and he was a stud.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You got to give me a hint. Somebody on the Dolphins. Obviously.
Quarterback. And, it might have been a draft pick that turned into this player. It was a quarterback from Purdue.
I'm good with quarterbacks from Purdue. Mike Phelps?
Mike Phipps.
Mike Phipps, right?
Crushed it. G-Man!
No computer. Yeah. No computer in front of me. Have some, and he was number 15.
There you go.
Yeah. What else you want? The Babe Ruth one is good. It really is good. Yeah, 342 lifetime. If you check it out. You can Google it, too. I do hate when people do that.
Yeah, if you're a nerd.
Yeah, people at the restaurants. I'll Google it. Take your phone and stick it. You don't know it or you don't, man. Don't Google that blank. I know I'm right. Yeah. Trivia questions. That's a good game. You can make some serious money with trivia.
Oh, yeah.
Football players. Oh, man, I turned that 100 over right away. Boom. Jeff L. Pugh, Dallas Cowboys, 1970. 75. Next. Let's go. 877-927-6969. Carolina and Duke are talking team rivalries today. What's one that you really enjoy and say, man, I get jacked up for it, and it doesn't matter? And I do believe college is better because the kids change. They do. And if they change more now, year by year, it's still the team and the alumni. And there's that bond. Like when you go there, I think that you root for them. Like somebody who goes to Florida is never going to root for Georgia 10 years down the road. It's not happening. You're a Gator. I mean, that's what you are. And we are a Gator, too. We are a home of the Gator.
There's even times where you'll see, we've seen it like with Franny. Like if Atlanta, or she's an Atlanta Falcons fan, of course, and if they draft a Gator, it's like you kind of have that little thing where, I mean, you still want to root for them and root for your team. But
I hated Johnny Damon. Hated him.
Yeah.
And then when he went on the Yankees, I'm like, I love you.
I love this guy. This guy's awesome.
It was
Check him
brutal.
out.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. But he used to kill the Yankees.
Uniform changes everything. Dude.
Oh, yeah. He used to
Well,
kill the Yankees, Johnny Damon. And when he came over with us, I'm like, all right, it's cool. There's no doubt about it. When somebody's like that, you hate him as a player. Then they're on your team. You're like, oh, A-Rod. I mean, A-Rod's a perfect example. He was out in Seattle, but when he came on the Yankees, you had to like him. You rooted for him. You wanted to root for A-Rod because he was with the Yanks. Jimmy, who do we have?
We got Bob Kraft on the line. Hey, Bob,
wow,
what's
Bob.
going on, Bob?
Wow. This should be interesting. Hey, Bob.
Good afternoon, locker room.
What's up, buddy?
How you doing? Look, unfortunately, we had to let Junior go there back after the deflate madness. But he's my nephew, and he's the caretaker of my estate here in Maui, and he's doing very well for himself.
Oh, good. So he recovered after that.
Oh, he bounced back.
He had something set up for him.
That's a load off. I was
That's
worried.
very nice of you, Robert.
Yeah, I was worried about it. Thank you, Robert. Thanks for listening.
Also, I'll email Jimmy the address, but there's 3 passes at the Asian massage parlor in Youngstown, you guys. Ask for Rosie.
Rosie? Okay. Rosie Palm?
I'll ask for Rosie. Thank you, brother. We appreciate that.
Thank you very much. Jimmy at RealRadio921.com.
Yeah, make sure you get that address now.
And he's got a coupon.
Nice.
Our coupon's going to go away.
What's that?
Like everything else. Will there not be any more coupons?
Never.
When is the last time you've been in a store? And again, when I go to Publix on Sunday mornings at 7 o'clock with my shopping list.
Yeah.
And it's usually one thing of shaving cream and an apple.
Yeah.
That's on my list.
Yep.
I don't have anything.
A big day.
And a banana, maybe. I can't remember the last time I saw somebody whipping out a coupon.
Oh, people.
No, it's all done on phones and
Oh,
stuff.
it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And everywhere's got like their own card that, if you swipe the card, you'll get certain advertised deals and stuff like that. It's a whole process.
They still have them, no?
Oh, they do?
You get a Sunday mailer or something like
do?
that. You can still get coupons out there. I know, like with the big box store, BJ's, right? So that one, you can do it on the app, right?
Oh, okay.
So I go and let's say I want detergent, and you can clip it right there. And then when you go to check it out, it automatically takes it off.
Oh, okay.
At the register.
Yeah.
So there is still a form of it, believe it or not.
Yeah, I never see it.
Yeah.
So I just, I'm not a big shopper.
I think we remember the days when Mom used to sit down and get the Sunday paper, right, and clip all the coupons for ShopRite and Pathmark and all that stuff. And like my mom was great because she would go. She'd go to one store in one county and then get whatever she had coupons for there. Then she'd drive all the way over to the other county to a Pathmark and get the grocery items with those. And you know what? Save
money.
a lot of money.
Yeah, I said save money.
Yeah, it's amazing how the dedication, right? And I grew up on that. I'm sure you did too with your mom.
Jules, I remember one thing she would do with me every Saturday when I was a kid. I was like 10 years old. I was always a hustler, always working. I used to have to do the papers. And as a paper boy, you would have to put the papers together.
Yeah, especially at Sunday. I mean, you want to talk about the coupons, right? And that's part of the mailers, the flyers.
And she would sit with me every Saturday night. We would get them like 8 o'clock at night. And I had a big round. I had like 150 houses.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I crushed it.
Oh, yeah, that was back in the day.
Yeah, the paper boy.
That was like your first job.
Yeah, I did that in the pretzel factory I worked in. But she used to sit with me every Saturday night for years and put them together. And you would have like the comics, the coupons, TV parade or whatever it was. Like you have all the things. You have to put all the sections together. Wow. And then you have to stack them all up. And then you have to put them in your little, then I would put them in our car overnight.
What a process.
Oh, it was.
Oh, yeah.
It was a pain in the
And a
ass.
friggin' Sunday paper would be an inch
book.
and a half thick.
Yeah. See, the Sunday paper, she would drive me Sundays, or my dad, because you couldn't toss them.
Yeah.
During the week, you did. You put the last of bang and you fling them, and then I used to get on my bike and I would fling them.
Oh, and you hated when you knew it was going to rain because then you had to bag them.
Yeah, you're right.
And that was a pain in the ass.
Yeah. All that stuff. But you had to have a good arm, though. That was the thing. Because you got somebody's bush.
With those driveways? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but I remember Sundays, we would go, me and her, she'd get up with me at like, 5. And all the papers I would put in her car, lift up the trunk. She had a white Eldorado, and we pop them open, and she would go with me every Sunday. If it wasn't for her, my old man would take me.
That's awesome.
But man, just things that you remember, like that they don't even think anything of it. And after that, I'd be like, I'll take you for a coffee.
And it
like,
still
thanks.
exists. I mean, there's still papers and there's people out there. We have a couple listeners, Eugene and Kathy, that go out and do them every morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. They're up slinging newspapers still.
Yeah, because the thing was, people wanted them before they got up. When they got up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you deliver it after that, they would do it. But it's this crazy situation where it's something like that. You think about, I was talking to her last night. I said, Ma, it's International Women's Day. I said, I remember when you used to do the papers with me. You can't pay me back for what I did for you. I'm like, you're right. You got some life.
Well, the apple didn't fall far, did it?
No. She's right. I was blessed with great parents. She goes, I knew you end up with palm trees. I said, some people have it. Luck of the draw. It is the locker room. Don't forget this afternoon, Duke in North Carolina. FAU Owls, hoot hoot. They ended up winning. Got the Panthers this afternoon, and you can hear that on Real Radio.
Yeah, pregame starting at 3:30, and puck